On a Halloween Eve here in Savannah, it is the final regular season game for Benedictine as they take on the New Hampstead Phoenix in region play. He's Christian Gokel. I'm Kevin Thomas. And for the Cadets, Christian, they're hoping it's more treats and not a whole lot of tricks tonight on Halloween. I had to get that in there just for you. I know how you like the puns, but it's been an up and down season for Benedictine, to say the least. They've gone through every kind of crazy scenario, games getting canceled due to disputes. You've had hurricanes moving games getting moved back, games getting moved to weeks they weren't supposed to be played on, all kind of things. And it comes down to Halloween night to potentially decide if this is it in 2024. So the scenario pretty straightforward tonight. You win, you move on. You get a week off next week, as you were supposed to have a week off at the end of the season. That got pushed back. You lose, and, well, that's it. Here for 2024, and that is not something that Benedictine has become accustomed to. And I know you talked to Danny Britt. I mean, this is a program that the seniors on this team have never not been to the state semifinals, never not been to at least the state semifinals or won the state championship. Can you imagine being done after not even 10 games, after 9 games here in 2024? I think that's been a motivating factor. It sounds like that was significantly stressed in practice this week of, guys, if you want to keep playing, you got to go out and win tonight.
Yeah, and it's been laid out very clearly to them. There is a scenario where you lose tonight, and there's potentially 3 to 4 2-win teams in the region, and then you get into points allowed in region or potentially just a coin flip like in Friday Night Lights. But it's really simple. You win tonight, you're the 3 seed. You're going on the road in a couple weeks to start the playoffs against the 2 seed from, I believe, Region 5, right? If you come out in this one and you lose, you are leaving it up to the universe, I guess is the best way to put it. And there is a small chance that you get into the playoffs, but it's minuscule. Yeah. So you have the ball in your hands for 4 quarters. You could go out, put this thing away, leave no doubt, and make the playoffs. And like you said, this is a very proud program. They've come back after a devastating injury to their quarterback, won a region game on the road, then came back and took the defending state champs to the brink and didn't allow a point in the second half defensively and still found a way to lose that football game. And so now you're in this scenario. So I feel like this team's kind of looking in the mirror this week saying, oh, this is it. Like, we've kind of been like, let's see if this works. We're going to try this out. We're going to see if this works. Maybe this guy will step up. We'll get this. And all of a sudden you're at the end of the season and you got to win a football game to make the playoffs. I think these guys are going to be locked in tonight. But like you said, I mean, there's still another team across the field from you that's really talented, and they wouldn't love anything more than sending you home and guaranteeing themselves a playoff spot.
100%. This is the Barnes Restaurant pregame show. As, again, you can smell it wafting across the parking lot. Give Barnes a call or check them out online for all of your tailgating and catering needs. Barnes Restaurant, great. Pit Cook Barbecue right there at Barnes. And I think you heard Danny tell you earlier today, Christian, it was, hey, we didn't play Benedictine football. And I think the tough part, and this happens in all sports, right, where you can sit back and look at the aftermath and say, defense didn't allow a point in the second half. Right. Defense shut them out. Shut them down in the second half. You gave up a kick return for 100 yards, or 99 3/4, 100 yards basically, kick return for a touchdown, and you had a batted pass coming off the heels of an interception that comes down to the hands of a defensive lineman. It's one of those where you were running deep routes, and you knew as soon as it was caught, if Amari Burst doesn't make the tackle, it's a touchdown. It ended up being a pick six going the other way. What a momentum change. And you look at it and go, played good enough to win the game, didn't win the game.
Right.
And that's frustrating, I think, when you're in sports as a team to say, played good enough to win the game. A lot of the things on paper say we did good, and one play, maybe two, and now we're in a fight for our season. And other than that, you can say, you harp on your team, say, we got to get better, guys, but you played a great football game.
Yeah. I'll say this. They didn't almost win the game. They dominated that football game, especially in the second half. They were up and down the field offensively in the second half. And, again, I don't know that Perry – just punt game and line of scrimmage. I don't know that they had a drive that started 20 on their 20 and 30 that they made it into midfield. There's a couple with some punts where you started inside of BC territory in the second half, but they never drove the ball in the second half, and they didn't put up a single point. It was – and this is not a joke. There were 10 moments in that game that if they don't happen, BC wins that football game. You have 12 men on the field. you have the very next play, you drop a conversion, right? You have what you said, you have the interception, and then the next play they bat it up and take it back. You were an arm tackle from a quarterback on your starting safety away from taking that interception back for a touchdown yourself. That was a 14-point swing in one play, right? And there's a ton of other. You're a half inch from that being a touchback, and it's a kickoff return for a touchdown. There were 10 moments that if they don't happen, BC wins that football game. I know that happens. Football's a game of inches. It's a really weird sport with a really weird-shaped ball, but it was discipline. It wasn't the other team beating you. It was discipline, and I think that's what drove Danny Brick crazy. But he said he went back and he's watched the game 10 times through because he was like, it was a great game and we played well. He's like, it was just those moments. And that's what he told his guys. He's like, guys, we have a really good football team, but if you're not disciplined, your season can be over like that. And
tonight you're playing dangerous personified. Rashawn Truell, one of the top passing quarterbacks in all of 4A football. I think he's top 5 in terms of yards. And you could say, well, he got 600 of them. I mean, that's a season's worth for some teams throwing the football. 630 some odd yards against Perry. They lost by 30, gave up 80, gave up a lot of special teams in that game. I look at this and say, if you can contain, you got a good chance of winning the football comes. Defensively, you look at New Hampstead, they give up points. Yes. So like you feel like you're going to score points tonight. It's can you contain? And I don't know that as interesting as New Hampstead has been offensively, they've seen a defensive front as talented as what BC brings to the table. So it's one thing to say contain. It's also another thing, can you get there and disrupt Truell, who wants to go downfield and throw the football? I mean, this is a guy that lit them up for 500 yards a season ago. Obviously, that can't happen here tonight.
No, and last year, this is not making excuses. It's just the case. Last year, New Hampstead came out with one strategy in the first half. This happened a few times last year to BC. Is you came out with one strategy in the first half, and they scrapped it and went to just air raid in the second half. And BC wasn't ready for it. BC was down a couple of defensive backs in the secondary last year when that happened. And, again, the guys that were there just weren't ready for 5-wide complex route schemes. Like they have a man beater on one side and a zone beater on the other side. Those guys just weren't ready. New Hampstead this season – they had a game against Savannah Christian where they only put up 7 points. In that game, they were trying stuff, right? They were trying two tights and running the football and trying to establish themselves physically as a football team. They have thrown that out the window. They are air raid. They're going to try to throw the ball 50 times a night and put up 100 points on Benedictine. And that's what you have to defend. But with that in mind, that's one offense. And you've gotten ready for that all week. BC has the horses to run with them on the back end, and Third Scroggins and Cam Cody have to be licking their chops right now, knowing that they have a quarterback who's probably going to drop back 50 times tonight.
And on the other side, Kyle Hockman, a guy that I know from your Metro Atlanta days, you're somewhat familiar with. His son, quarterback, went on to play at NC State, and since he has been at New Hampstead, it's been Paulie Seeley, who went on to play college football at the FCS level, and then Rashawn Truell, who's probably going to follow. I mean, he's going to follow in those footsteps, if not maybe some. You just look at how he's getting recruited, maybe low-level D1 FCS type arm, and a guy that can put up stuff. So Kyle Hockman and an offensive scheme, they go hand in hand. Yes. He knows how to coach offensive football.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be interesting because Coach Britt said something today that I think you don't see a lot of high school football, which is Galen Houston isn't just we're going to scheme it up and make checks kind of a coach. He is a play caller. So you're going to have a great play caller offensively in Kyle Hockman going up against a guy who's not just going to sit back and adjust, but who's going to try to attack back. But Kyle Hockman's pretty much seen it all. There's not a defense you can put out there that dude hasn't seen. So you're going to have to disguise coverages, and there's no in-helmet communication in high school football. So once that play gets run in, it's on Truell to identify the defense and make the correct reads from there. I think what you're going to see tonight is a lot of Whitey's walking down or Mackay walking down, and it's looking like it's going to be a 3-high look, and then you drop back, and all of a sudden you're playing cover 4, or you're just going to mix and match where it looks like you're running man, but you're actually dropping back into a zone. Just you get that split second where he has to, I have to readjust, and then that's where Third Scroggins has time to get home.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one tonight. We expect a lot of offense in this one. That's a scary proposition if your season is on the line, but a good one coming up here between the Phoenix and New Hampstead. This is the Barnes Restaurant pregame show. We're coming right back here on Watch BC Sports.
Looking for authentic, traditional Southern cuisine for your next special event, reunion, wedding, or celebration in Savannah? For over 45 years, Barnes Restaurant is the most experienced, trusted caterer in all of Savannah. Groups 50 to 5,000. No event too big or small. Barnes does it all. Online at barnesrestaurant.com.
When it comes comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way. Let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
And then along came Walker Jones.
Mom and Dad drove a Chevy. They're Mom and Dad too. Generation to generation, Chevrolet is America's heritage brand. And the best place to buy your Chevy is Walker Jones Chevrolet. They'll treat you like good friends and neighbors should.
Hi, I'm Joe Drawdy. I'm the General Sales Manager at Walker Jones Chevrolet. We've got it all. Why shop anywhere else?
Chevy. Together, let's drive. Walker Jones Chevrolet. Memorial Drive in Waycross and online at walkerjoneschevy.com. Ace Hardware is celebrating 100 years of helpful, and Island's Ace Hardware is Savannah's own. 318 Johnny Mercer Boulevard in Wilmington Island. They're our hometown, locally owned Ace Hardware. From A to Z, they've got it all to help you get things done. Island's Ace Hardware is a proud BC sponsor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware.
BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on Facebook.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium as we continue here on the Barnes Restaurant pregame show. BarnesRestaurant.com for all of your catering needs. Tailgate time across the way here before tonight's game against the Phoenix. And, of course, you got a big weekend slate upcoming, a little game down in Jacksonville. I guess you better enjoy it in Jacksonville this weekend because it's going to take a couple of years off as they redo the stadium there in Jacksonville, they announced this week. So we get here to BC, New Hampstead. Obviously, New Hampstead not going to run the ball a whole lot. They want to throw the football, and why not? You have the quarterback, let him do it. And so that, to me, the biggest key tonight is can you contain and shut down Rashawn Truell and disrupt his timing? If you do that, I feel like BC should win. To me, the scariest proposition is if you start going back and forth here on offense, defense, and put up a scoring battle. With your season on the line, that would make me nervous.
Yeah, you don't want to get into a basketball game with these guys because they are very well versed in it. It's not just Trell, it's just New Hampstead, kind of who they are as a football team is they're going to come out and they don't want to beat you 20-10. They want to beat you 50-40. It's how it's going to go. And defensively, it kind of reminds me of the old Paul Johnson days at Georgia Tech, where it wasn't so much that we want to come out and hold you under 200 yards of total offense. It's we want to come out and steal possessions. Can we be aggressive defensively, force you to make a mistake once or twice in the game where you give us the ball back, we steal that possession, and that's the difference because they feel very confident that their offense is going to score enough that if their defense can steal one or two possessions, they should win the football game.
And again, defensively, Cadets have been really good. I think that is, when you look at the ups and downs of the season, defense has been pretty good, even in the games that they've lost. And you say, well, what about where? I think where the air went out of the balloon, and they played virtually the entire second half. Yeah. I mean, you could be the 85 Bears, and if you play the entire game on defense virtually,
you're play 22 out of 24 minutes.
Yeah, you're going to wear down. And so I think for the totality of the season, they've played really well. I think what gives you confidence going into tonight and hopefully into the postseason is you are a second-half defensive team, and they have been so good coming out of the locker room on defense. That's got to give you a lot of momentum. Get there, get into playoffs tonight, and you can ride that defense in the second half. That takes the pressure off of Mari Burst, certainly, but defensively you can ride them into the playoffs.
I think after last week, you have to have the mindset that you can play with anybody. I know once Stephen Cannon went out, a lot of people were like, all right, let's see what we got for next year, because it's just kind of the feeling is the way this program has been built has been on outstanding quarterbacks, right? You have Holden Geriner, you go to Luke Kromenhoek, both of those guys win a state championship. Cool, here comes the next one in Stephen Cannon. He goes out, and a lot of people are like, all right, let's get him back. We have a bunch of these weapons coming back. We'll see what can happen next year. Then you go beat Wayne 40-0, and then you come back and again should have won against the defending state champs who had a lot of their bodies back and who, again, have played outstanding football this year. They're undefeated in region play, 6-2 overall, I believe. So you got to change your mindset if that's where you're at. Where you're like, hey, let's see if we can spring an upset in the playoffs. There's no upset. You're going to be the favorite. You win tonight. There is some team that's had a great season. They're feeling super proud of their team because they're hosting a playoff game, and then they're going to look at the schedule and be like, son of a gun. That's the 3 seed. That's what your mindset has to be. After last week, you can play with anybody in the state, and just the more Amari Burst gets reps, the better and more comfortable he's going to be in this offense, and the more comfortable his weapons are going to be with him.
I thought you brought up an interesting point on the Danny Britt show earlier today where you said, look, Amari has done what he needs to do, and you could say his job was not to come in and be Stephen Cannon, right? I mean, that if he was, then there would have been, hey, well, we got 2 starting quarterbacks. You probably would have seen what Perry did where we're going to rotate guys. It's a different skill set, but he has run the offense. You've gotten, I think, what you expect out of him, which is, hey, there's going to be a couple of plays each game where you go, ooh, not good.
Yeah.
But then there's been moments where you say, hey, he's got control of the offense. He's finding open guys. He's spreading the ball around. I know some of that is A.J. Phillips' design. You're going to spread the ball around, but he's spreading the ball around. A lot of times young receivers say, hey, that's my guy, and I know he'll go, just give it to him.
Yeah.
And for the most part, he hasn't tried to force balls and things like that you would see from a guy that just hasn't played a lot at this level. And I think, to me, as you said, just drive the ship, right? Just drive the car if you're Amari Burst, and good things are going to happen, and you have a team good enough to support you doing that. You don't have to be the Luke Kromenhoek where, hey, we get in the soup, it's all on me to go out there and be me and make a play.
Yeah, and I feel like he plays within himself, but at the same time, you know more about this than I do, but I think just being a baseball player, there's something about it. And Danny Britt said it a few times where he says he's a baseball player. I'm like, I don't know what that means, but I'm going to try to guess at what that means. And it's, these guys are used to dealing with things at a very high pace, and it's intense. It's not just standing in the batter's box. The dude plays second base with metal bats that are going up against him. So you've got pitchers throwing 80 to 90 miles an hour. That ball, I'm assuming, is coming off 100, 110 miles an hour, skidding on the ground. He mentally, he is a guy, I don't think it's too fast for him, right? He's shown in his first start even the ability to step up in the pocket, kind of run laterally to the line of scrimmage, keep his eyes downfield, and deliver a strike. And he's done that time after time after time after time. That's not normal for a dude in his first and second start. Usually it's panic. So there's some plays, like you said, that it's just you got to give it. But I think it's just high school football in general. If you have a great quarterback that you're not worried about making a bad play, then you have a 5-star generational quarterback. Most quarterbacks in high school, you're going to be like, there's 1 or 2 plays a game where you're just like, that's just the cost of throwing the football. And we saw those against Perry, where you were a step late and you threw an interception over the middle. Other interception was not his fault. That just got batted. The offensive line's got to do a little bit better job there. So I think it's not just that you've gotten what you expected out of him. I think you've gotten more. You feel dangerous offensively.
We've got more to come here on the Barnes Restaurant pregame show. We'll hear from Danny Britt when we return here to Memorial Stadium as we get ready for the regular season finale, BC and New Hampstead, about 15 minutes away here on Watch BC Sports.
Looking for authentic, traditional Southern cuisine for your next special event, reunion, wedding, or celebration in Savannah? For over 45 years, Barnes Restaurant is the most experienced, trusted caterer in all of Savannah. Groups 50 to 5,000. No event too big or small. Barnes does it all. Online at barnesrestaurant.com. Walker Jones is your automotive superstore on Memorial Drive in Waycross. All the best brands: Chevy, Cadillac, GMC, Toyota, Nissan, and Honda, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, plus our pre-owned supercenter. And we're the home of the lifetime warranty. Come let us treat you like friends and good neighbors should.
Hey, I'm Mike Cuneo, General Manager at Walker Jones. We've got it all. Why shop anywhere else?
Online at walkerjones.com.
Walker Jones.
At Benedictine alumni-owned Stacked Firewood Delivery, we're all about the best premium firewood, conveniently delivered in manageable stacks at the right price. We're talking kiln-dried, pest-free firewood. You see, our custom stack is equal to about 10 fires. Choose oak, cherry, hickory, or mixed hardwoods. Stacked Firewood Delivery. Go to stackedwood.com. That's stackedwood.com. The honor, the heritage, the tradition of excellence. The home for Benedictine Cadets football is WatchBCSports.com. All the games, play-by-play, and in-depth analysis. Home of the Danny Britt Show. Be a part of the action as your Benedictine Cadets take the field in their quest for yet another championship. On the official home of the Cadets, WatchBCSports.com. And look for us on Facebook and Instagram at WatchBC.
Have I prepared enough? There'll be unexpected turns. When things get tough, I need to stick to the game plan. No regrets. I'm ready. Are you? Get ready. Contact Abel's Iron-On Moore & Associates today and see why they are different. Because nobody ever wishes they'd saved less for retirement.
A wonderful shot of the back of my head, apparently.
Yeah.
We just finished tonight's national anthem as we get ready for BC and New Hampstead. Now, obviously, there's playoff scenarios out there. Christian, we are a long ways away from getting into that, but BC is going to have to be a road warrior. That much we know if they get in.
Yeah, if you win tonight, you're a 3 seed. So you're going to travel on the road and take on, I believe it's Region 5. I'd have to pull it up, but take on the 2 seed from that region, and that is the St. Pius Marist region. I think Marist probably going to end up being on top of that, but it could be Tucker potentially that you're taking on the road, and the 2nd seed, who's an outstanding football team, a 5A football team for a long time, playing against Brunswicks and the Glen Academies of the world, have come down to 4A. So a really talented team right there. Plenty students to pick from there in the metro Atlanta area. And then could be a St. Pius as well, a team that you're very familiar with. So it's going to be that road warrior mentality, like you said. But if there's 2 things that travel in football, Kevin, it is running the football and playing defense.
And again, that's what BC is going to have to do tonight: run the football, play defense, and contain Mr. Truwell. As Christian retrieves my roster, who went flying. It's a long way to the bottom of Memorial Stadium, I'll say that. So I appreciate you running down there and grabbing that before it went over the ledge. But that being said, tonight, worry about the playoffs later. Take care of business tonight. And again, this is going to be a team that has traveled in the past very well when they've had to do it, gone on the road and gotten some big wins, went on the road to Warner Robins and got a big win back in the middle of the season. So it's what lies ahead, but you got to play well tonight, and you want to finish on a high note because an off week, and then you jump into the playoffs. So you kind of got 2 weeks to get ready for whatever it's going to be.
And I think there's some bonus to that, right? Like if you lose tonight, there's a whole bunch of things you got to put together and strings you got to tie and fingers you got to cross and potentially toes too if you're going to get into the playoffs. If you win, it opens up so much. You get a bye week, and then you get that extra chance to just go ahead and scout everybody you could be potentially playing against. But you get another chance for your offense under Amari Burse to kind of develop together. And more importantly than that, Danny Britt and I have talked about this so much during this just recent run of success, kind of going back to the semifinals game against Jefferson. I believe, what was that, 2019, 2020? And that one. So you get extra practices when you make the playoffs. And when you go 2, 3, 4 weeks deep into the playoffs every year, that's about 16 practices that you wouldn't normally get if your season ends right there. You start adding 16 extra practices, or just call it 4 weeks of extra practices up over 2 or 3 years. There's times where you're getting a whole nother season of practices within 2 or 3 seasons. And that's why you go back-to-back winning state championships, is because you have a team that has played in 40, 50 games as juniors. That's just unheard of.
Yeah, I remember talking with Coach Britt last year, saying in the semifinals, like the senior class had essentially got 5 years of high school football into 4 years,
right?
In terms of games played, and you just don't see that a whole lot of times, that you get a whole nother season. You're only guaranteed 40, and we've seen with cancellations and whether sometimes you don't even get that many over your high school career. That team was in the upper 40s in terms of games played by some of their seniors, and that's just absolutely incredible. Just a little while ago, Christian had a chance to hop down on the field with the head football coach of the Benedictine Cadets, Danny Britt, and talk to him about tonight's regular season finale.
Coach, one way or another, final regular season for you guys tonight, but now fighting for your playoff lives. What's this week of practice been like?
It's actually been a really good week. The boys, we talked about Friday night, Monday. Definitely proud of them. The effort, the attitude, the physicality was all there. We just got to tighten some things up in a discipline department, and so it's been a great week of practice.
Now, New Hampstead, high pace. You're going to swing the football around. How do you defend that?
Yeah, we've pretty much done that a lot this year, so we're going to line up and have to try to get out the quarterback in multiple different ways, show him some different coverages, and we just got to play really good on the back end.
Coach, we ask you every week, what do you have to do to come out here to win?
I think, one, we have to be able to get to the quarterback and pressure him, and I think the biggest thing is just play really soundly in the secondary and make some plays there.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Danny Britt talking with our own Christian Gokel as he does the Gokel slide in, slide out here in the pregame show, the Barnes Restaurant pregame show. I had to one up Collinsworth. You slide in, slide.
Collinsworth ain't firing his own brakes. I'll say that.
There you go. But you have a situation tonight where it is the final home game for the BC seniors. Hopefully not the final game, but it is the final home game for the BC seniors, barring just something crazy happening and an upset in the playoffs.
4 seed going on a run, yeah.
Right, and you do that, but. Again, tonight, a team that doesn't have a lot of seniors, but the ones they have obviously are going to try to pave the way to a BC victory tonight, and then you're going to have to take your talents on the road the rest of the way.
Yeah, I think you got to lean on the Scroggins tonight. Ralph Scroggins offensively just going from his guard spot, and then third Scroggins from his defensive end spot. They got to have big games. And Danny Britt said Ralph Scroggins has had some really good games. He actually thought the Wayne game was the better of the two from the last couple, but last week, he said Ralph made some really big plays where he was able to get to the second level, just decapitate some linebackers and secondary players and open up some big holes. He's going to have to do that tonight. Third is just going to have to be a man possessed. I mean, I'm talking knocking the ball out of the quarterback's hands, big sack, stuff in the run, setting the edge. He has to, because this could potentially be the last time he puts on a Benedictine uniform. And I know, if anything, he's going to want to go out putting everything out there.
And again, a couple of pieces you mentioned for BC that one has been quiet, one has been not, but they need both of them as secondary options to stay hot. Josh Washington, we haven't kind of heard him a lot in the offensive mix last couple of weeks, and Jack Ganem in that place has stepped up. Wayne County had a huge game, and really you take back a couple of holds on runs he had last week, you're probably talking about another 100-plus yard rushing effort and some big catches coming out of that slot position.
Yeah, I think Josh Washington's problem isn't who he is as a player, it's his position. He's playing X, so he's just your true outside wide receiver, and that's who he's going to be. Bubba Frazier, Jack Ganem, those guys are going to be your slot receivers, slot backs. Josh, just from when he started at Benedictine to now, he is a true wide receiver, and losing Stephen Kana probably hurt him more than anyone, because he's the guy who was hitting the 5-yard hitches and then taking the go routes that Stephen Kana was starting to really develop a just relationship with, where he was able to find him and get him the ball. Jack Ganem kind of plays more of that tight end fullback role, where you're a young quarterback like Amari Burst. That's the guy you're looking for. Big body who's going to open himself up in the passing game, and then obviously can run the football. So, yeah, I think Jack Ganem's going to have a big game tonight. But don't sleep on Josh Washington. If they try to double Bubba Frazier and they're trying to kind of shade towards Jack Ganem or whoever's coming out of that slot, and you leave him one-on-one, Amari Burst has the arm to get it out to him. So I would not be surprised if Seven has a big play tonight.
And again, captains walking out on the field here at Memorial Stadium, which means it's almost game time. That'll do it for us here on the Barnes Restaurant pregame show, barnesrestaurant.com for all of your catering needs and tailgate needs right there. Pit Cook Barbecue done right at Barnes Restaurant. Again, it's a home game, so it'll be audio only. We'll step aside. We'll come back. We'll have the play-by-play story for you right here from Memorial Stadium. Cadets, Phoenix, coming your way next here on Watch BC Sports.
Looking for authentic, traditional Southern cuisine for your next special event, reunion, wedding, or celebration in Savannah? For over 45 years, Barnes Restaurant is the most experienced, trusted caterer in all of Savannah. Groups 50 to 5,000. No event too big or small. Barnes does it all. Online at barnesrestaurant.com.
And then along came Walker Jones.
Mom and Dad drove a Chevy. They're Mom and Dad too. Generation to generation, Chevrolet is America's heritage brand. And the best place to buy your Chevy is Walker Jones Chevrolet. They'll treat you like good friends and neighbors should.
Hi, I'm Joe Drawdy. I'm the General Sales Manager at Walker Jones Chevrolet. We've got it all. Why shop anywhere else?
Chevy, together let's drive. Walker Jones Chevrolet, Memorial Drive in Waycross, and online at walkerjoneschevy.com.
You know, Christian, after a day of the hottest sports in town, sometimes you just gotta unwind.
Yeah, Kevin, and the perfect place to do it, Cool Vibes Pizza and Wings.
That's because Cool Vibes offers delicious pizza, wings, sandwiches, and salads, all with a Jamaican Caribbean island twist.
And the atmosphere is 100% kicked back. No worries, man.
Plus, they're the home of the Oxtail Pizza.
Cool Vibes Pizza, 4501 Montgomery Street, Savannah. That's coolvibespizza.com. Cool with a K.
Come on and unwind at Cool Vibes.
Coach, one way or another.
Tradition, honor, a culture of excellence. This is Benedictine Cadets football, built by Helpful Islands Ace Hardware, Savannah's locally owned and operated Ace Hardware. Live from the home of the Cadets, Memorial Stadium in Savannah, Georgia, your Benedictine Cadets welcome the New Hampstead Phoenix. Now, here's your hosts, Kevin Thomas and Christian Gokel.
It's a beautiful Halloween night here for some football in Savannah, Georgia. Cadets have won the toss, and they have elected to defer to the second half. They're wearing white pants, maroon tops with the gray helmets tonight. New Hampstead, the Phoenix across the way, all white with the maroon numbers and the maroon helmets for the Phoenix, coached by Kyle Hockman. Here come the Cadets on the field, and kind of a nice moment prior to the game. Christian Gokel, you had John Lilly, one of the captains tonight, alongside Ralph and Third Scroggins. So the two brothers got to be co-captains tonight for tonight's ball game here in the home finale.
Well deserved for those two guys.
And John Lilly, a legacy at Benedictine. So it is a big night for those three seniors. And again, they will be out there on defense first. So we'll get to see Third Scroggins try to get after Rashawn Truell here right out of the gate. So again, a absolutely beautiful night. Again, Christian, we didn't talk about this as much in the pregame show. It is a Halloween night, so kind of a different muted kind of crowd where, you know, normally you have parents of multiple players or parents of the community, younger kids. So, well, they're all out trying to get Reese Cups right now. So a little bit of a different crowd, but the ones who are here, I think, are really excited about finishing this season on a strong note and getting ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, still a strong show in there from Cadets fans. I say it stands about 60% full right now, but a good student section as well. And like you said, Kevin, these folks, kids don't trick or treat anymore. They're out here supporting what their boys are doing.
So it will be Connor Ferguson left to right. There is a little bit of a breeze up here atop the stadium. Not much. Certainly very little down on the field, but the Nats are swarming here.
They might win tonight, the Nats.
Ferguson will kick it left to right towards the south end zone here at Memorial Stadium. The kick is high, it is deep, and it is way into the back of the end zone. And that's where New Hampstead will start on their own 20 to get this game started, 1st and 10. Nice way for Connor to get things going to start the ball game. And the Cadets send their defense out first. And again, we've seen it last couple of weeks. Jameer Lee getting the start. At one of those defensive end spots, you got Paul Thompson, Jameer Lee, Cam Cody, your three down linemen, and then you got third, and looks like Isaiah Scott as your kind of outer linebacker slash DN, whatever you want to call him in this 3-4 look. And Truell's going to start out in the shotgun. They'll put a pistol back behind him. A fullback stands to the right of Rashawn Truell. He'll take the snap. A little pseudo play action. He'll wind up, throw it deep. He's got a man, and it's going to be in and out of the hands. And JoJo Sutton was cooked that time up the left sideline, and they wasted no time going after it. Was Kamari Maxwell, senior wide receiver, racing up the near sideline.
Yeah, and Maxwell is the guy for this team. He's their do-everything wide receiver. We talked about having a true X. That's him, and he just absolutely toasted a corner on the outside right there. You have to know if you're one-on-one on an island like they were, BC in cover 3 right there, doesn't matter if they hit you short. You just cannot get beat deep.
They'll put twins here to the near side, one up top of the formation. They'll move the back offset of Truell. They got an H-back up to the left. Now they'll motion They're running back out of the backfield. They'll pump fake it. They'll go on a little fake and go on the slant on the inside. It's caught. That's a first down out towards the New Hampstead 45 into the hands of Mason Brown. They faked the flare pass and then went back to the slant.
Yeah, you took the linebacker and the nickelback out there, and if you're playing man coverage like they were, you have to know whose assignment that is. Both guys can't vacate that area. Then they just had the slot back just kind of ran right where those guys vacated for a big gain right there. Great game plan so far, as you knew there would be from Kyle Hockman and this New Hampstead offense.
Twins either side for the Phoenix. Truwell, he'll motion left to right across the formation. Now send him back. And the snap. Truwell, and what do we have? A lot of movement, and apparently somebody up front moved a little too early.
I think they had 2 men in motion right there.
And Rashawn Truwell, 6'1", 205, but I don't know, the shirt looks like a schmedium out there, and it is he is a thick-bodied quarterback.
I was going to say, I think one of them might be exaggerated and the other one might be a little bit under-exaggerated.
He's got big legs and a big arm. There at quarterback.
If he's 6 feet tall, Kevin, I am Shaquille O'Neal.
But he can sling the rock. They'll put Twins up top of the formation. Maxwell, the solo receiver here to the bottom on the near side. They'll motion it back out to the right. Truwell got a quick, give it to Maxwell on a slant into BC territory. And Isaiah Scott makes the saving tackle from behind at the Benedictine 41. And now they're just faking and coming back on a slant that time.
Yeah, RPO that time. And again, he's just looking. He's staring at the linebacker. If the linebacker jumps up and run support or to support just a quick screen to the outside, he's going to throw back to that tunnel underneath. And I think right now BC's coming out in man coverage, and it's A, some miscommunications, but B, New Hampstead just has some man beaters on right now, and they're executing at a really high level.
This is the first time we've kind of seen him step up and play bump here a little bit. I've been kind of giving that soft coverage, Christian, here. It's 1st and 10 from the BC 42. He'll put it back to his left, and Twins either side. Here's the snap. Truwell looking, let it go up the right hash. It's Estabrook in coverage, and he just poorly thrown balls. He was looking for, looked like Yeomans or Terrio up the right side, Ari Terrio, and he was step for step with Estabrook.
Yeah, just a fade there from the inside man on the trips. And Kevin, that time we talked about in the pregame show, Galen Houston is a play caller as a defensive coordinator, and he called a blitz, and BC for the first time heated up Rashawn Truwell.
A lot of quick stuff, trying to get the ball out from New Hampstead. And it's 2nd down and 10 from the Cadet 41. And here's the snap. Truwell looking near side, winds up, throws, and has a man in the zone. It's Maxwell, cuts back inside. And I don't know what happened to Makai Williams, but he went one way, Maxwell went the other way, and nobody touched him. That's a 41-yard touchdown.
All right, Kevin, it's a perfect throw, and it's a cover 2 beater. That time, BC dropping back. You have your corners covering about 5 to 10 yards deep, and your safeties taking from about 15 to everything else on top, and he fit it in right at 12 yards. It was an absolute strike, and then the wide receiver put a great move on the safety there for the touchdown. I mean, it's perfect play calls and perfect execution. There's not a lot you could have done better there as a defense.
So the point after is New Hampstead going to go for 2. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty going to be enforced in the kickoff, and New Hampstead's going to go for 2 here. They'll put trips here to the near side. Motion a receiver right to left. That's Maxwell. Here's the snap. Truwell is going to run. They're going to fake it. They're going to reverse around the other side, and that's going to walk in for a touchdown. And that was going to be Ari Terrio, and it's 8-0 New Hampstead early, and right now the defense on their heels.
Yeah, again, New Hampstead just came out swinging with some of these plays, and BC not really having a chance to adjust on the fly there with as fast as New Hampstead's going. But at the same time, New Hampstead just executed that drive perfectly. There wasn't a ball thrown behind or early. The only play you really missed on was when BC heated you up a little bit. But outside of that, it was just perfect execution and great accuracy for 12, which is why he's been able to throw for 600-plus yards in a game. 80
yards right down the field, only 1 incompletion on the drive, and that was, I know Galen Houston won't want to hear this, or Danny Britt, that was knife through butter that time for New Hampstead offensively.
Yeah, and again, the first 2 completions, you ran yourself out of coverage. That last one was just, my guys are better than your guys, and that's exactly what happened. It was their quarterback to their best receiver against Mekhi Williams and JoJo Sutton, who you feel like is the strong side of your secondary, but that wasn't – you had the coverage there. They just played better than you.
So Cadets down 8-0 early.
But now kicking off from the 25 here because of a personal foul penalty after the touchdown is New Hampstead.
So you should get it in decent position. And you don't want to chase points early. As they'll pooch it up, it's going to come down about the 31 of BC. Who is that? I can't see who caught it. That is going to be JoJo Sutton. No, it's Marquis Williams. He comes near side across midfield and gets shoved out of bounds here on the near sideline at the New Hampstead 46-yard line. And Marquis Williams with the return that time, and BC is going to start in plus 10.
Yeah, that guy has, 200-plus yard interception returns already on the year. So, I mean, I don't know if that's the guy I'm pooching towards.
And again, defense has not been the Phoenix strong suit here in 2025. So let's see what the Cadets can do here on offense. And they've been good about answering, usually offensively. Christian, they've come right back. And they'll go.
How about two tight?
Two tights, lone tailback. And they'll put Omari Burse under center. And they'll give it straight ahead. That's going to be Bubba Frazier at the tailback spot. And he'll get 8 on first down to the 38 of New Hampstead. Just a little off-tackle play, and it went right through there.
Yeah, just too tight and a little zone run right there. And really good job from the guard and center on the right side. They're just blowing open a hole.
And now they go flex bone. And they'll give it to, this is Ganem off the left side. He's got a block, turns the corner. He's out to 30, makes a man miss, 25, 20, 15, then shoved out of bounds inside the 15, and a shoestring tackle at the 11-yard line. Near side official has him at the 10. Let's see where now they're going to back him up to the 14. How do both side judges have him at the 10 and 11 respectively and decide on the 14?
Well, at least now you can still pick up a first down.
Yeah, so 1st and 10 from the 14. And the snap. The fake, the flare out into flat is going to be caught. There's Josh Washington. He'll fall inside the 14 to the 13 and a half. Give him a half yard there on first down.
Yeah, that one a little bit behind Josh on the swing pass right there. We saw that happen last week, and Bubba put it on the ground. That was a big loss, but that time just ends up going for no gain.
I was at least courteous enough to give him a half a yard there. Come on. Pistol formation for BC. Stack receivers either side. And now what do we have? Offside against New Hampstead. And again, this is something I think BC knows in its heart is that they've come out and run the football. I think end of the day, AJ DePhillips, Danny Britt knows if we need to, we can cram it straight down their throat. Yeah, push it down the field and establish that, and that's going to open up, obviously, the passing game. But
what you do have to do is answer, though. If that's going to be your game plan, you can't do that in punt. You have to put the ball in the end zone.
Well, same formation, stack receivers is going to be 2nd and 5. And now the give. No, the keeper, Omari Burse, and try to make a man miss at the 10. He's going to be drugged down. Tackled for a loss. Brought down by the big defensive end, Cameron Blake Mays. And it'll be 3rd down, and we'll call it 6.
Yeah, that time just a little read option. But right now, New Hampstead stacking 8 guys in the box and just daring BC to throw it, and they're going to have to.
3rd down and 6. Burst out of a shotgun, looking all kinds of time. Now rolls to his right, still looking, and gets the ball punched out, and falling on it are the Cadets back at the 21. And again, the saving grace there was a heads-up play by Blake Maxheimer, and now the Cadets are going to have to kick a field goal.
Yeah, that time New Hampstead just sends 3, and as you mentioned, that defensive end, number 44, has had a really solid first half so far, but that time just plays really good containment against Amari. Nobody open, and Amari just takes a little bit too long, gets sacked, drops the ball. Luckily, a BC offensive lineman there to pick it up.
Now Connor Ferguson from the right hash. This will be a 38-yarder. And we'll talk more about it, whatever happens here. Snap is good. The kick by Ferguson is up, and it is right through there. 8-3. Our score, 7:05 to go in the first quarter. We're coming right back here on WatchBCSports.com.
Ace Hardware is celebrating 100 years of helpful, and Island's Ace Hardware is Savannah's own. 318 Johnny Mercer Boulevard in Wilmington Island. They're our hometown, locally owned Ace Hardware. From A to Z, they've got it all to help you get things done. Island's Ace Hardware is a proud BC sponsor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
We are back here at Memorial Stadium. So plus field positions, drive started off, and Christian, what I was going to bring up there in the extra point was Danny Britt said the same thing. Playing behind the chains has just been the bugaboo, and there you were, second down and 6 from the 9, and you end up having to kick a 38-yard field goal.
Yeah, again, the read option. Amari's quick. I don't know how fast he is, and the read option there kind of showed. He got tracked down there, and then the pass. It's got to be quick. That was just a little mesh concept. You had 2 drag routes crossing each other, and a man settling down in the middle of the field. You got to make that decision quick. If not, just throw the football away.
So Connor Ferguson will kick it off left to right. And he'll put his foot into it and hang it up high, and it's going to go deep into the end zone once again. 1st and 10 from the 20 is where the Phoenix will start here on possession number 2.
And here's what's been interesting so far about New Hampstead's offense. It's been the first read that's been open, so guys like Third Scroggins and Cam Cody haven't really had a chance to make an impact yet. You have to take away whatever that first read is, and if that's a gamble, you got to make that gamble, but you got to give your guys on the edge time to get home.
So here come the Phoenix once again, and again, Rashawn Truell, he's not a threat to run, Christian, really. If he tucks it, it might be a show-me run, but he's going to stand back there and throw it.
And now you see who's in a corner.
Yeah, they're going to bring in Bubba Frazier here. He'll line up mano a mano on Kamari Maxwell. Truell out of a pistol. Third Scroggins looks like he's ready to go off the right side. They're going to test that Phoenix left tackle here. Here's the snap. Truell looking. He's going to wind up, throw it deep up the right side. Has a man. It's going to be caught out at midfield. JoJo Sutton in coverage again. A step too slow against Messiah Worrells. And that's going to be another first down. Actually, excuse me, that's 11, not 1. That's Mason Brown, but another big first down. And Truell just one step, lets it rip, and his receiver runs under it.
Yeah, Kevin, we talked about it in the pregame that there's no in-helmet communication, but right now BC's just showing what coverage they're in before. So Rachel Truell's just looking to the sideline. Kyle Hockman's telling him who to throw it to. He's hit his 2-step drop and just dropping in a bucket right there. One read, and it's out.
Twin receivers either side for the Phoenix here on 1st and 10 from the 42. They'll put a man in motion. Now motioning back. Here's the snap. Truell looking. Throws it up. It's a little wobbler. Somebody got a hand on it.
Those are the moments right there.
Cam Cody, I think, got a mid on it, knocked it down.
I think Cam Cody took his guard and basically stuck him in Truell's stomach. Those are the moments you have to have. That ball just kind of came out of his hand like a dead bird. Somebody's got to be there to pick that off. Those are the moments you're going to have to steal.
2nd down and 10 from the BC 42. Wholesale changes for the Phoenix.
And listen, if I'm Galen Houston, you got to prove to me that you can run the football. And I'm going to run cover 2 over the top, soft coverage, because I can't have you beat me deep all night. Show that you can win 3-4 yards at a time all the way down the field, but it can't be 30 yards at a time.
Haven't even tried to run the ball so far here in this first quarter. Truell out of a pistol, going to pull it back, throw it, and that time Third Scroggins.
That was Jameer Lee.
Or was it Jameer Lee? Got a hand up on it.
Yeah, the big old freshman got a paw on it.
And you know it's going to be quick, and I think that's maybe the adjustment is, hey, 2-3 power steps, get your hands up to try to knock the ball down.
Yeah, it's a great coaching. It's just you got to get your hands in those throwing lanes if you're not going to be able to get home.
3rd down, crowd on its feet for the first time tonight. They got 4 men with their hand in the dirt here against 4 wide receivers. Truell looks back at Kyle Hockman for the check. Still looking. Now he'll put a man in motion.
Man coverage.
Oh, he falls down and goes back the other way. Here's Truell looking, pump faking. Going to go deep up the sideline. Nice tip. And almost intercepted by Wyatt Estabrook. Who was that? Isaiah Jones got the hand on it. And if Estabrook had 3 more feet, that would have been an interception going out of bounds. But now they went for 2. Do the Phoenix have a punt game? Looks like they're going to stay out here in plus territory.
You're in plus territory. you got to win this football game. Your best player's number 7. They're going to give him a chance to pick up this first down.
So 3 straight batted balls by the Phoenix. And now if you're BC, you can, even if it's a 3-man rush, pin your ears back and come get him. Trips here to the near side, one up top. Out of a shotgun, they'll check back with Kyle Hockman on the far sideline as the Phoenix work right to left. They're going to change the protection in the formation. They'll bring a receiver in kind of to play
this might be a 3-man route right here.
Here's the snap. Truell. Oh, he's going to punt it. It goes straight up the elevator shaft, and it's going to hit at the 10 and go sideways and roll out of bounds at about the 7. So a little quick pooch punt by Truell and pinned him inside the 10 at the 7. So a little kind of quick thinking there by Kyle Hockman, and everybody was thinking pass there.
Yeah, and it's a win for BC because you got the football back, but, man, that you'd have loved to see one of the safeties. I think it was over at Easterbrook side. You got to go up and just fair catch that ball.
So now the long way to go.
But a win. You 3 straight incompletions there to force that punt.
And Christian, that's the team so far that hasn't even tried to run the football. I mean, when it's, quote, play action, they're 3 feet away from the quarterback, sticking the ball out, and he's throwing it all day long. So here's Amari Burst out of a shotgun. He's got a running back that is Smart to his left. Looking, Amari's going to step up in the pocket, have some time, a jump throw, and out to Bubba's. Going to be skipped out there, and that's Amari's been doing that a lot last couple games where he kind of gets up in the air like you're turning the double play and trying to throw it in you, and you just don't have anything on it.
It looks like a baseball player trying to do that, but you just got to plant your feet and throw that one, and Bubba Frazier was wide open in the flat from the snap. It's just I think he was going the route, the first read was deep.
So a little bit over 6 minutes to go here in the first. They'll go flex bone look here deep in their own territory. They'll motion a man straight ahead, and flags come in. That probably means somebody moved or was offsides. It's going to be offsides against New Hampstead. So bailing out BC there. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, flex bone. It was there. I know it's offside, so you got to call it. But I think BC's like, whoa, my goodness. Did we just pick up 5 in place of 15? Got to pick up a first down here, though, to give your defense some time to rest.
They'll put trips here to the near side. 1 back into formation, and they'll give it straight ahead and pushing towards the 15 to the 16, maybe only a gain of 1. I think that was Bubba Frazier on the carry. It was. So now it's 3rd down and precarious distance here of 3 yards, and you're back in your own territory.
Again, New Hampstead just selling out right now to stop the run. If you're going to run, I think this is how you do it, going under center in the flex bone.
Cadets in the flex bone on 3rd and short. They'll motion Bubba Frazier, and he'll stop. You see Army and Navy kind of do that where they do that quick rocket motion, and then they'll stop and see how the defense reacts and go back and reset. Here's the give. It's going to be Bubba Frazier trying to get the corner turned, and he's not going to do it. New Hampstead flowed right to the football, and Bubba maybe gets a half yard. It's going to be 4th and 2.
Yeah, that time
and you got to punt.
Yeah, New Hampstead got penetration that time, and you're just not able to get to the edge. It's been a really, really solid defensive effort from New Hampstead, especially against the run to start this game.
So Cadets going to have to punt the football. It will be Kamari Maxwell back deep, so watch where you punt it here.
I'm about to say danger, and he's giving Ferguson a lot of respect here too.
Oh, they skipped it back. Oh, what a dig out by Connor. An end-over-end punt gets it away, and it's going to take a BC roll. And they will touch it up at the 44-yard line. My goodness, crises averted. That one rolled back on a 3-hopper to Connor Ferguson, who dug it out at the 2 and got it away.
That's pretty much happened every game this year. There's been at least one of those snaps where he's had to kind of play second baseman and dig it out without letting his knee touch the ground. So this is what you don't want, Kevin. This is what can't happen a lot in this game is your defense gets a stop, but then you put them back out there after 3 plays.
3rd possession of the ball game for the Phoenix. They lead it 8-3 here in the first quarter. Final game of the regular season. If you don't win it, final game of the season. There's a give straight ahead. First run of the night. We'll get 2, maybe 3 out to the 48-yard line. That's that linebacker. Cameron Blake Mazes. He's going to get 3, so 2nd down and 7 here.
Yeah, and again, a good job there by BC stopping them, and now you kind of won 1st down there. You put them in obvious passing situations.
Same formation out of a pistol. Twins here to the near side. Nobody up top. Truell takes the snap. Looking. He'll throw it in the slot. It's incomplete. Boy, he had Maxwell in the bubble again on the slant, but a big defensive break there for BC.
It looked like he was open, but he wasn't. You that time you did a better job of just bracket coverage. You had to fit that over linebacker between a safety, underneath another safety, and ahead of a corner. And that time that was a little bit too much. And that's better defense. You just play your zone, make him fit it in there.
So it'll be 3rd down and 7, a big play here.
What I would like to see is the safety come down and actually lay a lick there because he still got hands on the ball. And that's just a free shot.
4 wides, Twins either side for the Phoenix here on 3rd down from their own 48-yard line. Cadets will come up to play bump coverage on the slot guys. And they'll motion Maxwell right to left. Now he'll break it down and go back outside. Here's the snap to Truell. Looking, he's got defense in his face. Little tall JoJo Sutton. And Sutton jumped inside the route looking for Ben Hockman. And Sutton knocked it down, and now they're going to get the football back. Again, I guess Truell, and this is a dangerous part, he will either punt it or they'll go for it.
Yeah, you just leave your defense out there and play coverage. If he punts it, he punts it.
And this is what makes them so dangerous. The smart plays to punt, but you got to respect the arm as well.
Oh, they're pushing their chips to the middle of the table.
And here is, no, they'll check back.
What if they're trying to get him to jump, and then, yeah, they'll check back into that punt.
And now they'll bring a receiver down. High snap, Truell, 1 step, lets it go. I think somebody got a hand on it. It's going to hit and, again, take a sideways roll, and then they'll touch it up at the 21. So Truell's in a straight shotgun, Christian, so if you get a decent rush, you can get there because it's just 1 step, kick it. And
I think that's what Kyle Hoffman's going to tell us. Like, dude, we got to take a step back. Like, if we're going to do the pooch kick, take a step back. Because as we've seen so far, BC's got some long arms on the defensive line.
Or you kick it into the back of your center. Yeah. Important drive here, Christian, at this point of the ball game. You don't want to overstate it, but you're down 8-3, and you went 3 and out last time, and they started flowing on that run. Got to have some kind of answer here.
Yeah, and they're leaving 7 guys in the box at least. But what they're doing is they're giving you weird fronts. They'll put 3 guys down, but then they'll show 6 guys at the line of scrimmage. It's difficult for your offensive line to ID who they're supposed to get to.
John Lilly in at tight end as they start this series. Here's the give straight ahead. This will be Bubba Frazier. He'll move the stack left side, and they'll push him ahead out towards the 28-yard line. So give him a gain of about 5 there on 1st down.
BC's been consistently able to get to this, but it's been 2nd down where they just haven't been able to get anything going.
And Ron Mallard checks in. He'll be at the slot at the top of the formation. They got twins either side. Smart back in at the tailback. And here's the snap. They'll wind it up, go up the left side, looking for Washington, and that was a play that I don't think he was ever really open, Christian. They had a deep safety kind of waiting on him up the left sideline, and now it's 3rd and 5.
Yeah, that one I kind of felt predetermined from the jump, but the safety was running stride for stride with Josh, and kind of got lucky that he overthrew it there because the safety felt like was in better position to make a play than Josh.
8-3 our score. This is Cadets football. We are presented by Island's Ace Hardware, and we appreciate Island's Ace Hardware being with us throughout the season. Here's the snap to Omari on 3rd and 5. Rolls near side. Underneath, Jack Ganem caught in the bubble of the zone, and he'll fall ahead to the 45. So a nice little pitch and catch. And that's one of those, hey, if your quarterback's struggling, roll him out, find a soft spot, make the throw, and move forward.
Yeah, that time he just absolutely settled down there, but a great throw by Omari, and Jack Ganem's become his guy.
Out of the flex bone, they'll give it straight ahead and into New Hampstead territory at the 49 will be Stanley Smart.
And there's a lot of BC fans right now going, okay, let's stay in the flex bone. It's 5 yards at a time.
Yeah.
Let's keep doing that. But with an offense as good as New Hampstead's, you got to show that you have the ability to still throw the football.
Out of the flex bone again. They'll fake it now, counter back. This is Bubba Frazier, makes a man miss at the 45, cuts back inside, and inside the 40 at the 39, and that is a BC Brothers moving the chains. 1st down. Bubba Frazier on the misdirection, and BC moving the ball.
Yeah, it was pretty. It looked like it was going to be the toss, and then it looks like it's going to be on the jet, and then you come back underneath to Bubba Frazier, and that's a guy who knows how to find the open space.
Cadets work quickly here. Snap to Amari Burst, gives it to Smart, makes the man miss in the hole inside the 30, slammed down at the 26, and that was just a power run. One cut, make a man miss and go for Smart, and that's another BC Brothers moving the chains, first down.
Yeah, that time a little read option there. Defensive end stays, so you hand it off, and Stanley Smart cuts underneath him for a big gain.
Trips up top, nobody here but a tight end, John Lilly to the near side. Snap to Burst, they'll cut him back to the right side, and there is Smart hard running inside the 10. Another big gainer on first down. BC Brothers moving, those trucks are getting cranked up. It's another BC Brothers moving the chains, first down.
Yeah, BC going a little quick here now, but the reason why he's able to hit these big gains is New Hampstead's coming up, sending 8 guys with the initial assault, but if you get past that, it's wide open grass.
Bubba Frazier, the lone tailback, and they will give it straight ahead. Bubba in the hole, and a flag comes in.
Yeah, tackled by his own guy.
And it came from the back judge. Did he see somebody holding in the gap there?
I wonder if his hands to the face.
Holding
Okay.
against BC, so they'll back the Cadets up.
Yeah, I think the left guard just got obliterated right there and just kind of held on for your dear life, because at the end of it, when Amari turned around and handed the football off to Bubba, there's already a guy sitting in his lap.
It'll be Chase Wilson, the
So this
left guard over there.
First and goal from the 20?
First and goal from the 20 for BC. Out of the shotgun. Here is Burst, takes the snap. He'll give it here to the near side. Smart makes a man miss at the 15, 10. What a run, another cut. Just gave him the shoulder fake, and he got a huge gain on first down. Back inside the 10.
So here what I was trying to say is the reason Stanley's been so effective so far is he just hits the hole that's called. And so when you have a ton of guys lining up in the box, if you try to make a cut, you're going to get eaten alive. If you just hit the hole and trust that your line's going to make it for you, then you can bust for a big gain.
Stanley Smart, a great couple of runs here deep on this drive. Here's the snap. They'll give it to him again. Stanley cuts back inside the 5, lowers the boom, and into the end zone. Ran over to Phoenix and finds pay dirt, and BC is into the end zone. And the Cadets have their first lead of the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, like a pinball. Kevin just bouncing off of bumpers there and keeping his feet moving, and that's the development from number 12 we have seen these last couple of weeks, just from a speedster to a running back.
Christian, that's big-time running back drive for him. Just the cuts he was making, the one and go, huge.
Just hit the hole.
And now the point after from Connor Ferguson, right through there and good. 10-8 our score. We're coming right back. Cadet football built by Islands Ace Hardware on Watch BC Sports.
Bowtie Barbecue has always been a work of passion. It takes time, skill, and a blend of perfect temperature, wood, smoke, and meats. We just took it up a notch. Taste the passion. Bowtie Barbecue, 6724 Waters Avenue, Savannah.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium, and you talk about defining plays and moments in a season. That certainly, you thought it came a couple of weeks ago maybe, but that's certainly to me one of those defining drives for Stanley Smart. We're like, okay, it's starting to click on the reads, one cut, and let the speed and power take over.
Yeah, again, if you're going to just bang your head against a brick wall where they're just loading the box, you're going to run it. You have to have a running back who isn't going to try to deke at the line. You make your move once you get through that first kind of wave of defenders, then you hit the gas, and Stanley Smart's that guy.
Connor Ferguson to kick it left to right again. Trots forward and puts a shoe into it. It's up the left side, and it's going to be short at the 5. Coming across the 10, 15, 20, and stood up at the 21, 22-yard line. And much better kick coverage for BC on that time. And interesting, I heard your conversation with Danny Britt at Bowtie Barbecue today where he said, hey, starters are going on the kick units. It's that time of year where we got to do it.
Yeah, it's just you can't leave anything to chance now. But there's still some specialists out there who do their job. And he said what he saw last week when they were missing these those lanes is you had guys trying to run around the blockers instead of just trying to run through them. You have to stay in your lane whether you're being blocked or not, because if everybody gets out, then you open up that tunnel. That was a better job by BC just delivering some blows.
So 1st and 10 for the Phoenix from their 22.
Just gotta keep your mind in this one here defensively.
Truwell, a pistol look. They'll move the tight end now, send him out as a flanker. Here's the snap. Truwell looking. And got some third. Scroggins rolls out of it, throws back near side. It's going to be caught and dropped. Incomplete. Estabrook was in coverage. Mason Brown was just waiting out there about the 25 and just dropped the football.
Yeah, at that time, third Scroggins almost got home, but Trill does a good job of sliding up in the pocket. But that's a tough throw off your back foot across from one hash all the way to the other sideline. And even if the wide receiver caught it, I think Estabrook was going to be there for a tackle.
2nd down and 10 now.
Again, BC's done a good job these last few drives of winning first down, putting them in 2nd, 3rd, and long.
Phoenix will stay in the pistol now. They'll shift coverage. They'll slide Isaiah Scott out kind of in the flat. Here's the snap straight ahead. They'll run the football. And Paul Thompson and Cam Cody. Somebody lost a helmet. I think Paul Thompson was grabbing the waist. Cam Cody grabbed everything else.
Yeah, you see 55, and then you see everybody start falling back. But again, if you're just going to send 4, that's fine. But they have to be able to do what they just did right there, which is just you can win with 4 and stop the run. That's massive.
Gain of 3 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Cadet fans on their feet here. Final 30 seconds or so of the first quarter. Back to either side of Truwell. Here's the snap. He's looking, going to go up the near side, and the slide is caught. They ran the wheel route up the right side with the back out of the backfield. That's going to be, I think, Jaden Caldwell.
Yeah, if I'm
and a flag comes flying out after the play. And I don't know if somebody said something or what happened. There didn't seem to be a scrum or anything over there. Let's see what the flag is.
Late hit out of bounds, maybe?
I mean, he caught it right near there, but it wasn't like he slowed up to go out of bounds. That would be a brutal late hit if it is. It came in so late, I can't imagine that's what it is.
Sideline.
Personal foul against BC. That'll drive Danny Britt nuts, and you see him out there saying, tell me who won the world.
Well, obviously that hurts because you put you out about midfield now after having them pinned deep. But the other thing is I'm Danny Britt. I have a conversation because the running back started running towards the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped, and that's not in the CFL. You can't do that.
Seen that a couple of times tonight.
Yeah. Don't know if they're going to give this one off before the end of the quarter.
Clock is running, and I think Kyle Hockman, with it being 10-8, might be content to go to the second quarter. And that's what they're going to do. We're after 1. Cadets holding on to a 2-point lead to put together a drive here. This is Cadets football built by Islands Ace Hardware.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Vernon Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
And then along came Walker Jones.
Mom and Dad drove a Chevy. They're Mom and Dad too. Generation to generation, Chevrolet is America's heritage brand. And the best place to buy your Chevy is Walker Jones Chevrolet. They'll treat you like good friends and neighbors should.
Hi, I'm Joe Drawdy. I'm the General Sales Manager at Walker Jones Chevrolet. We've got it all. Why shop anywhere else?
Chevy. Together, let's drive. Walker Jones Chevrolet. Memorial Drive in Waycross and online at walkerjoneschevy.com.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium as we start the second quarter. Phoenix have the ball out near midfield, their own 48. It'll be 1st and 10. Truell's got a pistol look here. Twins up top of the formation. Here's the snap. Truell going to play action. Roll to his left. Now he's going to tuck it. It's wide open on the left side and breaks down. And he's going to be brought down by, that's going to be Colby Brennan, the linebacker, tracked him down. Again, Truell not swift of foot. I think anybody else, it was wide open, and Colby Brennan closed the gap on him pretty quick.
Yeah, he's not fast, but he's just very instinctive as a quarterback. He understands how to slide and maneuver a pocket, and I think that time you're trading 7 yards for a free shot on him like you got.
Second down officially, they're going to call it 4. They're at the BC 46. So give Truell a gain of 6. And he'll put 2 receivers either side here as the Cadets showing 4 down linemen. They'll motion Maxwell, now send him back. Here's the snap. Looking, Truell going to wind up. It's tipped at the line. It's up in the air. Couldn't get there. Colby Brennan, Zach Maxwell, a couple of them had a shot at it, just not there in time. And it'll bring up 3rd down and about 4.
Yeah, I think that was big. Third Scroggins getting there. Almost had the sack, but like we said, Kevin, those are the moments where you can potentially steal a possession and BC a yard away from that interception.
So 3rd down and 4 from the Cadet 46. And a big down right here for this Cadet defense trying to get off the field again.
Yeah, better initial coverage. The first second from BC's secondary, and that's allowing the defensive line to start to get home a little bit.
Pistol look for the Phoenix. They put trips here to the right. They work off the left hash. 1 receiver.
You wonder if they run it here knowing they got 2 downs to get it.
And here's the snap. Straight ahead and stood up in the hole, but Larson Little going to have to ride on the back of number 24, Nehemiah Lemon, and he'll have the first down at the BC 39. Hard hit, but just had to hold on to that extra momentum, just took him across the first down marker.
Yeah, Larson Little was there. Great read, flew up like a missile. It was just high. You got to tackle the legs there.
So 1st and 10 here for New Hampstead. Only the 3rd running play of the whole ball game for the Phoenix. They'll motion Maxwell right to left. Now they'll break him down and send it back. And here's the snap. Truell looking. Pocket just got obliterated. 3rd Scroggins, Cam Cody said, let's have a sack lunch at the quarterback. And they did back at midfield. A huge loss on 1st down. They give forward progress up to the BC 46, but still going to be a loss of 7, 2nd and 17.
Yeah, he said it. Cam Cody just did sled drill against the center and drove him back, and then 3rd Scroggins just obliterated the right side of that offensive line. That was unfortunate to be Rayshon Truell on that play, because that's about 500 pounds of dude hitting you at the same time. More than that.
That pocket just disintegrated. Here's the snap. Truell, they'll float it out to the running back. Caught. And Larson Little.
Big hit.
Going to make the stop. And he's been a guy the last couple of weeks. Christian, I don't know if it's just scheme or what have you, but we haven't said his name a whole lot. He had a very solid sophomore campaign at middle linebacker, taking on a big role there, kind of trying to fill the shoes of Wilkes Albert, and played solid, but now starting to get in on some more plays here late in the season.
Yeah, he did a good job getting there and holding him up. Then Mekhi Williams came in with the finishing blow. 2 big hits in a row from BC's defense. Now, Kevin, Bubba Frazier lost his helmet on that last play, so he'll have to be out.
So 3rd down and 13 here for the Phoenix. They are at the BC 42-yard line.
And you got to feel like they have to throw something quick here.
I think the Cadets are going to get after him. Trips here to the near side. Truell looking to the near side, and he's going to be flushed. Cam Cody, and then Paul Thompson, 3rd Scroggins, everybody getting some back there at the quarterback. Actually, no, that was John Lilly, another one of those seniors tonight. And John Lilly, Cam Cody, 3rd Scroggins, everybody got a lick on him that time.
Yeah, what's fun to watch right now is Cam Cody, when he doesn't have to worry about standing up and playing defense, and he can actually pass rush. We haven't seen that all year, and that's 2 plays out of 3 where he just won at the point of attack.
So 4th and 8 miles to go here for New Hampstead. Now they're going to punt it. No Truell pooch kick this time.
And something to watch here, Kevin. It is windy. We saw that on the kickoff going this way for Ferguson.
And it's blowing into the face of New Hampstead here.
So you wonder if they try to do a line drive here.
This will be Jackson Brown, I believe, the punter.
That's a good, he's a singer too, singer-songwriter.
Gets it up there, kind of hangs. You see it just die, and then caught at the 27. What a spin move! There by Bubba Frazier, comes back near side at the 30. He's at the 35, 40 up the left sideline, midfield 45, 40, setting up the blockers, cuts back and driven down at the 30 of New Hampstead. And what a huge run. Coverage was good, and Bubba did a spin move for the ages and came back near side.
Listen, I'm going to be sympathetic to the defender because if you get in their halo and you blow him up, it's a 15-yard penalty. So he stopped his feet. He was there. Bubba Frazier didn't fair catch it and just spun off of him. That's a impossible spot to be in. But you also see what happens when number 4 gets the ball in open field.
And I was going to say, you saw that punt get up there and just die. It kind of looked like it was going and just hung up.
It's like when you hit a golf shot on Jekyll. It's just
So 1st and 10 for the Cadets from the New Hampstead 30.
It was a Stanley Smart show last time.
You got Stanley Smart, Bubba Frazier, dual running backs. They'll put Bubba out of the formation. They'll give it to Smart straight ahead. Makes a man miss and gets inside the 25, down close to the 21. Very close to a first down here for the Cadets.
I mean, it's 10 yards a clip right now for Stanley Smart.
Why take it out of his hands? Just keep feeding him. The snap. They'll fake it back near side. Caught. This is Josh Washington at the 10. He's knocked out of bounds. That was just a one step and throw it to him and a first down.
Yeah, RPO there. And that time you read and you see that defender bailing over and over again. Eventually the offensive coordinator will say, hey, it's there if you want it. Mari Burst pulled it out of Stanley Smart's gut that time and just threw a quick little comeback route to Josh Washington.
This is 1st and goal from the 9.5 for BC. They'll give it to Josh Washington on the end around. He cuts back inside, touchdown.
What a cut.
Cut back inside, kind of stumbled a little bit, but nobody recovered for New Hampstead. And Josh Washington finds the end zone, a 9-yard touchdown run.
I mean, it's basically the same buck sweep that BC has been running for 100 years. You get the ball to an athlete in space, and they get to pick which hole they want to cut into. He did the first one, right at the field, defense over, pursued, touchdown.
The point after upcoming for Connor Ferguson. And the kick is up, and it is right through there and good. 7:13 to go here in the second quarter. Cadets lead at 17-8. This is Cadets football, built by Islands Ace Hardware.
You know, Christian, after a day of the hottest sports in town, sometimes you just gotta unwind.
Yeah, Kevin, and the perfect place to do it, Cool Vibes Pizza and Wings.
That's because Cool Vibes offers delicious pizza, wings, sandwiches, and salads, all with a Jamaican Caribbean island twist.
And the atmosphere is 100% kicked back. No worries, man.
Plus, they're the home of the Oxtail Pizza.
Cool Vibes Pizza, 4501 Montgomery Street, Savannah. That's coolvibespizza.com. Cool with a K.
Come on and unwind at Cool Vibes.
We are back here at Memorial Stadium, 17-8 our score. Cadets, after a big Bubba Frazier return, took it the rest of the way, 30 yards in just 3 plays for a touchdown and extending that lead 17-8.
Yeah, now a 2-score lead here. It's still early. It's just the second quarter, but New Hampstead, you have to wonder, do they stay within themselves? Look, they're already playing a 2-minute drill offense, but if I'm them, I'm looking at number 55 just running unabated at the quarterback, and I'm saying, hey, maybe I can run underneath that.
Kick from Ferguson right to left is going to be into the end zone. And no doubt about that one. And again, I think for Kyle Hockman, the question is, we're going to have to get the ball out quickly because we're seeing a lot of 11, a lot of 55, and we're seeing double of everybody back there as you're getting to the quarterback.
Yeah, and again, it's been Cam Cody in the middle, big number 55, lined up right over your center, who has to deliver a shotgun snap and then get up and block him, and he just hasn't been able to one-on-one win those. The only way to truly counter that, Kevin, is to kind of try to show a commitment to running the ball.
You got Jaden Houston in there at linebacker for the Cadets. He'll play off of Larson Little. And now trips up top for New Hampstead. One receiver is Maxwell here to the near side, locked up with another Maxwell, Zach Maxwell.
How about Cam Cody at defensive end? Watch out for a stunt here.
Here's the snap. Lets it fly up the left side. He's got a man, and it is incomplete. I think he was looking for Ben Hockman. And had Hockman got his eyes on the football, might have had a chance to make the play, but I think kind of lost it up in the air.
Well, I don't think that Terrell was able to really step into that one because he had a guy, again, sitting in his lap. If he's able to deliver that, that might be a touchdown. Some creative routes that you just don't see a whole lot in high school football from New Hampstead tonight.
2nd down and 10. Truwell out of a pistol. BC's coming after him here. They're showing big-time blitz. Now they back out. Here's the play action. He'll come up the near side looking for Maxwell. Almost made a one-handed grab. He was guarded. Oh, my goodness. He was guarded by Zach Maxwell. They're going to throw the flag extremely late, get him for pass interference.
I think the back judge was waiting for the sideline official to throw it, but it was. I mean, you were burned one-on-one, and Zach just had a hold of his belt on that one. So
almost made a spectacular one-handed grab on that one as well.
So what's the counter? If they're going to come show blitz time and time again, you're just going to take shots on the sideline, and either three things will happen. It's an incomplete pass, you catch it, or it's going to be pass interference.
And Truwell's got a strong enough arm where he can just throw to a spot, the old Steve Spurrier, throw to a spot and just let your guy go run get it.
Yep.
So that'll give the Phoenix a 1st down at their own 35. And now the Phoenix put 2 up top of the formation. They got an H-back and a pistol look here offensively. Here's the snap. And they give it straight ahead, and that went nowhere. Paul Thompson, Cam Cody, 3rd Scroggins, everybody with their hand in the dirt met him at the handoff, and it'll be 2nd down and 12.
Again, winning 1st down. If you're looking at a whiteboard in a coach's office and they're laying out their goals for the game, one of the first things you'll see is winning 1st down. That's both offense and defense. And New Hampstead consistently has been in 2nd 10 or longer.
So 2nd down and 12.
So, yeah, what has been the adjustment for New Hampstead? Fade route to the outside.
Again, the Phoenix have only run it 4 times so far here in the first half. Here's the snap. They'll give it again off the right side, and they got a big hole that time. They're going to have the 1st down. A gain of about 15 off the left side. They come back. That's going to be – that was your guy, number 44. Why I'm trying to get it on the roster here. It is Cameron Blake Mays. And that time it was just a straight counter back to the left and had a big hole.
And you had Cam Cody on the outside, lined up at defensive end, but you ran a stunt. You just lost contain there.
So 1st and 10 right at midfield for New Hampstead. And a flag comes in after the play.
I think that's going to be on Cam Cody.
What did he do? Just jawing back and forth?
Jawing, yeah.
And they're trying to console Cam. And I don't know if somebody said something to him on the boy. He is fired up. They are trying to calm Cam down. And Danny Britt coming out there. And that's not a conversation I'm sure Cam wants to have. And I think Danny's saying, I don't care what they said. You've got to get it together here.
You take it out between the whistles.
And whatever he said or did, it cost him 15.
Now, I'd be interested to go back and watch the tape because there might be some stuff happening after the play too, because Cam Cody's not the guy. This is the first time we've seen ever in his career that he would react like that.
And he just wouldn't let it go.
But, I mean it's a strategy. If a guy is just utterly dominating you, get in his head. Get some penalties, get him on the sideline. I mean, right now, Cam Cody's sitting on the sideline instead of getting after the quarterback.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 from the BC 35 now after back-to-back penalties. They've got 4 wides into formation. Here's the snap. They'll give it straight ahead. No. Keeper by the quarterback. Ooh, nice sidestep move there by the, you hate to say, nimble-footed Rashawn Truwell there. He got 8 on 1st down.
It's like watching Ben Roethlisberger run a trap play.
I mean, he wears number 7.
Yeah. It's like watching, what they say, it's like watching a skyscraper run.
That's right. That time, I think they did the play action. Everybody thought it was going to be Maxwell coming in motion, taking the football.
Yeah, I mean, it's the play that Cam Newton and Gus Malzahn made famous, where it's a split veer, and you're reading it. If the defensive end goes with them, you cut right where that end went.
Now 5 wide on second and short. Truell goes under center. He'll take the snap. They'll throw a bubble screen. They're going to throw it back, and Truell's just going to let it fly in over. How he got a touchdown. I thought Estabrook had the interception. It got behind him to Ben Hockman, and Hockman just walked in. I thought Wyatt Estabrook had it picked off, and that was the ugliest double pass you've ever seen in the history of football, but somehow it got in the end zone.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I'm not just saying that. No, it truly was, the flip back to Truell was a duck. And
Truell got hit, and he just floats it out there. Estabrook had about 5 seconds to stare at the ball and just mistimed his jump. It goes through his hands into the receiver's hands, and he stumbles into the end zone. That's why they play the game, Kevin. That's about as weird as it gets.
They went for 2 last time.
I mean, that was clear as day.
The only time they've gone under center. Now they're going to attempt the point after.
That's clear as day going to be an interception. I just missed it.
The kick is up, and it is good. 17-15. We got ourselves a ball game. Cadets still hanging on to a lead. We're coming right back. Cadets football built by Islands Ace Hardware.
At Benedictine alumni-owned Stacked Firewood Delivery, we're all about the best premium firewood, conveniently delivered in manageable stacks at the right price. We're talking kiln-dried, pest-free firewood. You see, our custom stack is equal to about 10 fires. Choose oak, cherry, hickory, or mixed hardwoods. Stacked Firewood Delivery. Go to stackedwood.com. That's stackedwood.com. BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on Facebook.
Back here at Memorial Stadium, New Hampstead, thanks to a lot of BC miscues, both penalty-wise and just a mistimed interception. Christian Gokel has drawn this game back to within 2 points.
Yeah, it's one of those drives where you should have had the football a couple of times, and they end up putting it into the end zone. You just got to throw that one in the trash and move on.
New Hampstead to kick this ball off.
Again, wind blowing hard this direction.
A little pooch kick, and a flag comes in. Somebody was offsides.
Yeah, and I'd make him kick it again if I'm Danny Britt.
And BC's made that adjustment. Their 2 up men are Jack Gannam and Marquis Williams. And then you've got Bubba, and I think that's Stanley Smart on the other side.
Here's what I like, though, Kevin, is you looking down at the defense who's underneath the tent right now, and they're all kind of just talking to each other, seeing what's out there, communicating, but also passionate. Like, hey, that's it. Like that, we're shutting this down. So there's no animosity right now defensively. They're fired up, and they want to get back out there.
So New Hampstead will kick it again. Again, they are kicking towards the south end zone, which at Memorial Stadium has the field house end. And BC should get great field position regardless because they're going to pooch it again. And they do. It comes down the middle. This is Jack Gannam at the 31, 35. Jack cuts back to the right across the 40, 45, and drop down at the 46-yard line of BC. So great field position here for the Cadets and plenty of time to go put points on the board.
Yeah, that dude's just so strong. We shook his dad's hand earlier, and I don't know about you, Kevin, but it like it wrapped around mine. It was kind of meaty. So just a strong family.
And a chance for BC again. These are the opportunities that A.J. DePhillips and Danny Britt enjoy because, hey, this is end of game, end of half situation. 4 minutes. We got great field position. Burn clock, go put points on the board.
And you get the ball to start the second half.
Right. From the BC 48, bursts out of a shotgun. He'll keep it himself. No, this is Bubba on a Wildcat. Comes here to the near side, trying to get the corner turned, and he'll get a couple out to the midfield stripe, and that's it. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, just a good job there by New Hampstead, just stretching that one out to the sideline. Again, 44 playing a great game.
So we saw a little Wildcat there.
2nd and manageable.
And you got burst back at quarterback. Here's the snap. Amari looking, throws it, caught. This is Josh Washington at the 40. That's going to be enough to get the BC Brothers moving truck fired up and move the chains. Once again, another BC Brothers moving first down.
Yeah, it's not a complicated passing game right now for BC, but it doesn't need to be. They're just taking what's there from the defense. Kind of a weird 3-5 kind of a defense right now from New Hampstead, where they're just mixing and matching with their linebackers. But a good job from Amari just executing.
Twins here to the short side. Amari with the snap. One step.
Why
Throws
not?
it to Josh Washington again. He'll get inside the 30 to the 29. So another gain of 8 on first down. And if they're going to let you do it, just keep going down the field.
Can I Nostradamus?
Okay.
You do that, you do it again.
To the other side of the field?
No. You do it again. And then when they come up and play press, you do the Aaron Mallard touchdown pass that you've seen 6 times so far this year, where everybody comes up hard and then you let him run beneath them.
And they'll find Mallard out in the flat. He'll turn the corner on 20-15. Makes a big miss at the 10.
Goodness.
And gets tripped up and falls down. And, well, that was the pass to Aaron Mallard. It just didn't go for a touchdown. It went for 15 and a first down.
You just get everybody with their head firing. And they're like, hey, my eyes are on my guy. They're going to throw it short. Then you come across with a little motion there. Aaron Mallard gets in the flat, wide open. And then that dude, he can run, man.
First down, BC Brothers moving the chains. First down, it'll be first and goal for the Cadets. They're trying to score in about a minute and a half here if they can punch it in the end zone.
I think Danny might be like, hey, guys, chill out.
They'll put Jack Ganem to the other side. They got an I formation here. Burst's going to go under center. And now they'll motion Ganem in, kind of double tight it to the right. Here's the give. This is Bubba Frazier.
It's a boot.
Oh, they booted it. Amari Burst at the 2, runs out of bounds. Boy, that faked you, me, and everybody else out.
Whatever. I was on the boot from the jump.
I thought it looked weird when Bubba ran straight into the line and just kind of stood up.
Looked like Peyton Manning against the Cowboys, where everybody went one way and he just kind of trotted the other, but they ran to the short side, so he ran out of field to get to the end zone.
So now it's second and goal from the 2. BC goes I formation. They'll bring in Ganem again, kind of double tighten to the left. Now they give it to Bubba. He'll go straight ahead, and New Hampstead there to read that one. They'll shove him back. They're going to say he lost maybe half a yard. It'll be third and goal.
Yeah, they did a good job just creating a pile at the point of contact. There's nowhere to run. It's a little ISO play, nowhere to go.
We haven't seen the toss sweep from BC in this situation in a couple of weeks where you just go I formation and pitch it to number 4 and say run to the corner.
I think a lot of teams started getting a little wise to that game. So now you see your best 2-point conversion kind of play right here.
Out of a shotgun, they'll put a man in motion now back. That's Mallard. They'll roll Burst. Try to throw it short. That's got to be a flag. It is. Boy, he was tackling Aaron Mallard.
Well, it's a great decision, and there's no automatic first down in high school football. So it's a great decision. You were absolutely burned right there. It's the play that Hunter Renfro ran to win the touchdown, to win the national championship for Clemson against Alabama way back in the day. And he's wide open, so the guy just jumps out and tackles him before the ball gets there. So you give up a yard.
Say might be sacrilege as like the Mike Bobo, Mark Richt era where you get on the goal line, you kind of motion that fullback out and just runs a little, throw it to me for 2 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Let's see if they run that again. They go to I formation. Larson Little going to come in and be your fullback ahead of Bubba Frazier. Here's the snap. They give it to Bubba. He goes straight ahead. Does he get there?
Be a touchdown.
He leaned forward. Nobody.
Yeah, the forward progress.
Forward progress. They're going to say he's short.
At the 1-inch line.
It's going to be a millimeter short. And Kyle Hockman wants a timeout. There's no way BC's kicking it here. I just can't imagine.
1 yard. You know who I'm putting in right now is 55 at fullback.
Yeah. Hey, give me Larson Little and Cam Cody and say just run behind both of those guys.
Yeah.
Both of those guys love some contact, and they'll clear a hole for you.
And 55 is ticked off right now. So
timeout, New Hampstead and Kyle Hockman. Again, this is Cadets football built by Islands Ace Hardware. We appreciate Islands Ace Hardware being with us throughout the season. And for all your hardware and fix-em-up needs, visit Islands Ace Hardware. So 4th and goal, I would love to have a sideways view of this because it can't be more than about the length of a billfold here to get in the end zone. Larson Little comes back in. Here's an interesting move. You move Jacoby Ward into guard.
I like that. Just
So
get some meat.
you take your tackle and kick him inside. Omari's going to go under center. Here's the snap. They're going to push
Touchdown.
Omari straight ahead. Touchdown.
Okay, that's a touchdown.
Larson
Yeah.
Little just pushed him all the way in there. And BC on the board.
You said it, Kevin. You put Jacoby in there, 320 pounds of SEC tackle, and you just say go forward. And for Omari, he's small, so sometimes that can be a disadvantage, but kind of like Warwick Dunn back in the day for the Falcons. You just get lost behind the big guys, sneak in for a touchdown.
Sometimes it really is that simple, right? Yeah. Just get behind the beef and go.
Just go. I remember, I can't remember which game it was, but it's like early, the mid-2000s. Nick Saban said the same thing. It's like, it's not hard. Just run behind Andre Smith.
Here's the point after from Connor. Connor Ferguson puts it right through there. 24-15. Cadets extend the lead. We're coming right back here to Memorial Stadium here on Watch BC Sports.
And then along came Walker Jones.
Mom and Dad drove a Chevy. They're Mom and Dad too. Generation to generation, Chevrolet is America's heritage brand. And the best place to buy your Chevy is Walker Jones Chevrolet. They'll treat you like good friends and neighbors should.
Hi, I'm Joe Drawdy. I'm the General Sales Manager at Walker Jones Chevrolet. We've got it all. Why shop anywhere else?
Chevy. Together, let's drive. Walker Jones Chevrolet. Memorial Drive in Waycross and online at walkerjoneschevy.com.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. Cadets put together a drive in about a minute and a half. Or 2.5 minutes, rather. We had about 4.5 minutes left. So 2.5 minutes, 24-15. Now a chance to end the half where it is and get the football back.
Well, I was going to say, potentially a chance to just go ahead and get the football back here in the second half with as fast-paced as New Hampstead runs their offense, and they're going to be throwing the football. You get a few incompletions here, you still have 3 timeouts. You can get the ball back.
Connor Ferguson to kick it right to left with straight up 2 minutes to go here in the half. And that one's going to find its way 6 yards deep into the end zone. 1st and 10 from the 20. And now Kyle Hockman's got to run the 2-minute drill for New Hampstead, which, as you've said, they've kind of been doing all game.
Yeah. Nothing changes for them offensively. And Cam Cody back in there defensively for the Cadets. But, again, it wasn't defensively the play calling or the execution that hurt you. It was a 15-yard personal foul. You gave up a busted run, but that's just one of those you tip the hat and say good play call. But you gave up a busted run, a 15-yard penalty, and then what should have been for all the world an interception that goes through his hands. Keep doing what you're doing.
So here come the Phoenix. And again, they haven't really, other than the occasional show me run, I think Truell's got a couple of attempts. I think officially have rushed the football 6 times here in this first half. They'll put a man in motion, giving them quads here. Here's the snap. They'll give it straight ahead. Nicely read by the Cadets. And nice second effort, on the carry as well is going to be a Nehemiah Lemon.
So I wonder if that's Kyle Hockman's kind of clock management is I'm going to run one play, pick up 5 yards, burn 30 seconds. So if we do have to punt the ball away, we don't leave BC with anything.
Same formation for New Hampstead. Truell winds up, throws left side, had 2 receivers in the same spot. Somebody didn't know the route, and it's 3rd down and 5.
You had 3 BC defenders and 2 guys kind of ran the same route there. They're kind of talking on the sideline. But now, again, you're BC. There's 90 seconds left. You get another incompletion here.
Use one of those timeouts.
Yep. Well, you want to have to with incompletion.
3rd down and 5 from the Phoenix 25. And now I don't think they know how they want to line up. They're moving guys around. Still 18 on the play clock. Stack receivers either side for the Phoenix. They'll put Maxwell all the way across the formation. Here's the snap. Truell going to wind up throw. It's caught underneath.
Wrap up.
Nice tackle made. That's Zach Maxwell on New Hampstead's Maxwell, and it'll be 4th down. I think Danny Britt just used one of those timeouts with 1:24 and said, hey, if we get the ball back, we got a chance to throw some more up there.
Yeah, you got to punt here if you're New Hampstead, because if you don't pick this up, BC's got the ball inside your 30 with over a minute left on the clock.
And give them a lot of credit. I think New Hampstead, if you're Kyle Hockman, this has played out about as good as you could have hoped to this point. You're basically in a touchdown game at this point with BC. They're trying to make the playoffs as well across the way, and as you said right here, just don't do anything crazy. And if you're BC, maybe they can do something a little crazy, like kick it to number 4.
It's usually not the best idea. But also back there's number 2, so it's kind of pick your poison.
Long time out here for Benedictine. And again, with the season jumbling around, this game was to be played last week. This was going to be an off week. Well, now the off week's going to be next week, which would have been the first week of the playoffs. And then BC can sit back and kind of, I think it's a region off week next week for everybody in the region.
No. New Hampstead has to play Ware
in a makeup.
Yep, because Ware had to miss a few weeks.
So 4th down, Truell goes under center out of the I formation. I wonder if he's going to drop back and punt this ball.
I wonder if they're just going to try to get BC to jump.
They go under center. Hard count from Truell. He's barking out some signals. Still 8 on the play clock. And Truell under center. They're going to take a timeout.
Great job. Just good discipline there by BC's defense.
And a good thought by Kyle Hockman there as well. What's it hurt to try to get a free first down?
You can't take your timeouts with you into halftime, so.
So good discipline there by the Cadets, and now if you're New Hampstead, you have to punt this ball.
Yes.
And you'd love to get another big return here with still, a minute 20-ish.
Well, when you talk about why the coin toss matters, it's not just who gets the ball first or defers, it's who's going to have the ball. And if it comes down to a field goal game, BC will have the ball kicking with the wind in the 4th quarter.
Right.
So, that's playing into factor here is if they punt this ball right here, I don't know with this wind if it makes it to the 40.
That's true. Kind of get a low line driver, let it roll on the turf. One of those rugby-style punts that we've seen coming.
The only thing that's tough about that is if the return team is ready and they scoop it up, you just had a 15-yard punt.
Oh, New Hampstead's hustling out here. They're going to send Mekhi Williams back by himself. See if the Cadets come after it in some way.
Yeah, I think this is just punt safe.
Mekhi Williams standing at the BC 43. Here's the snap. It's a good one. Punt is up the left side, and it's going to hit and go out of bounds at the BC 44. So really good field position. Still got a minute plus here to go, and you still have 2 of your timeouts.
Yeah, and if anything, again, you can add about 5 yards to Connor Ferguson's range right here just because of the wind to his back. So, I don't know, Kevin. I think you need 15, 20 yards till you start considering it.
I think you got to go and say, hey, if we get 3, that makes it a full 2-possession game. Actually, you're there now. Excuse me. So
yeah. And still 2 timeouts for the Cadets. So I think your full playbook's open here.
So here's the snap to Amari Burris. Amari, straight drop, looks over the middle, has a man. Josh Washington just led him a little too much. Would have been a diving catch if he could hang on. And it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Still, I think that's a confidence builder if you're Amari because you hit your drop, you read the defense, came back the other way and found a deep crosser right there, and you're just a little bit out in front of them. But still, that's a really excellent job reading that defense.
So 2nd down and 10 here for BC. They'll put trips here to the near side. Bubba Frazier by himself. They're going to double Bubba, I think. Nope, they're going to walk a man back inside. Amari looking, comes here to the near side. Flush has a man short. It's Josh Washington caught and tiptoes the sideline, steps out of bounds. Ooh, a generous spot. That's going to be enough for the 1st down. BC Brothers moving the chains. 1st down, they mark him at the 45. I didn't think he ever made the 45 there, Christian. And
yeah.
BC will take it.
Unless he just stuck the football out and they gave him that progress, but that was a good read from Amari. He looked deep. It wasn't there, covered up, came back underneath, picked up a first down. Again, you're about a first down here away from field goal range, and now you're kind of starting to think about touchdown.
Right at a minute to go here in the half. Snap to Burse. Amari, quick out, caught Josh Washington and stood up and pushed ahead to the 36-yard line. Danny Britt calling timeout. It's going to be second down and very short from the New Hampstead 36. So Cadets still have one left with about 52, a little bit more than 52 seconds to go.
And I like that timeout right there because you still have one in the pocket that you save for the field goal, but that one you're just saving as much time as you can. So I like that timeout there from Danny Britt. But now you have the ball at the 36-yard line. I'd say you're in field goal range right now. And so full playbook, I think, is open. You can run the ball if you want to, if they're going to keep giving you those. What we haven't really seen tonight, Kevin, is when you go trips, one of those bubble screens, just get the ball out to the inside receiver with two blockers, and I think you can pick up some big chunk yardage right now with that.
Yeah, they're definitely nothing cheap, nothing deep defensively.
But what's scary about that is BC's got so many playmakers. If you just let them get the ball in the open field, they make one man miss, you're in trouble.
So it'll be second down and 1. And even with this much time left, full playbook
100%.
wide open here for the Cadets. And how huge would 7 more be heading into the locker room here?
Big, just A, momentum-wise, but B, you just want to put as much of a buffer between yourself and this offense as possible.
Stanley Smart going to go way out. Ball's played off the left hash. He's outside the numbers on the far side. 4 receivers diamond up here on the near side. And Amari Burse with an empty backfield. Here's the snap. Yep, bubble screen to Bubba. He dropped it, but that's because there were 17 whistles blowing. Offsides against New Hampstead. Why on earth are you offsides if you're New Hampstead?
If you line up offsides, and in high school, if there's an offsides, it's a dead ball. Like you stop the play, reset, but you had 2 New Hampstead guys trying to deal with 4 BC guys right there. If you're Benedictine, you're like, just let us have that play.
Same formation. Yeah, they're going to do the same play. Throw it to Bubba Frazier. He's at the 30-25 and out of bounds. Stops the clock. That'll be a gain of 7 or 8 on first down. They'll give him 8, and it'll be second down and 2.
It's just great execution. If you're going to keep playing soft on this side of your field, we're going to take 7 yards at a time.
46 seconds to go here in the half. We'll have our Bernard Williams Insurance halftime report here on a Halloween night. Here's the snap. Burst, a pump fake, comes back and is caught. Josh Washington, did he get the pylon? Yes, he did. And that was fortunate. Josh Washington and Ron Mallard were running 1 foot away from each other. Washington catches it and then gets bumped over the pylon for the touchdown.
Oh, that one is just you ran that same, you had a diamond formation out there, ran that same fake to the bubble screen, and your 2 blockers, quote-unquote, release. But what Ron Mallard's job is right there is to run the safety off of Josh Washington, and then Amari finds Josh Washington on the side. Just a perfectly drawn-up play, perfectly executed.
40 seconds. They do it very quickly. Here's the snap. Ferguson right through there. Connor makes it 31-15. Under a minute to go here in the half, and we'll keep it right here, Christian. As BC, very good 2-minute drive there to get us close to the end of the half.
Yeah, how about Amari Burst executing that drive right there? And it all came to the near side, to the BC sideline, and they just played soft coverage. And then when they felt like they were getting beat with that too much, you took advantage of it and went over the top. It's just great play calling, great execution, and your sophomore quarterback started to heat up a little bit.
40 seconds to go. Again, Cadets will get the football to start the second half. And as you said, the most important thing that happened, not only did you score a touchdown, but really opened up some breathing room against a very dangerous quarterback. But I think as the half is worn on, you've managed to limit Kyle Hockman's playbook, not because of the quarterback, but I think because they can't block the 3 guys up front, which we talked about in the pregame show.
Yeah, Cam Cody's been a difference maker.
And here's the kick from Connor Ferguson all the way into the back of the end zone. It'll come out to the 20. But, yeah, Cam Cody, Paul Thompson, third Scroggins.
Well, what's been so impressive is outside of the one
It doesn't
run,
matter.
they've been able to all stop the run as well with just the 4 of them. And sometimes going up against 6, 7 guys. That's what's been impressive, and you're just letting your secondary run with 7.
So 1st and 10. And 40 seconds. New Hampstead should have 1 timeout. I would like to say I know that for a fact, but with the big, beautiful scoreboard they have here at Memorial Stadium, they don't bother to use that. And again, that's just the officials never update the amount of timeouts.
Do they have 1 left?
I'm pretty sure they have 1. Trips up top. And 1 here to the near side. They'll bring 1 in as the tight end. They'll roll Truell to the left. He'll wind up, throw, and caught out near the first down. He'll have a first down. He hit the little slot receiver. That's going to be Terrio. And that should be enough for a first down. Stop the clock with 35 seconds.
Yeah, just a speed boot to the left, which is tough, especially for a right-handed quarterback. But great job by Truell there to hit his man on the run, and he just had leverage on his inside. The inside linebacker trying to guard that it's tough.
He's got that quick release where it looks like he's not even throwing it and just comes zipping out of there.
I don't understand how he doesn't have bigger offers right now. Kid's a stud.
Trips to the right for the Phoenix. They'll roll here to the near side. Truell looking, winds up, throws, flips it down the middle of the field. Too strong, and be picked off. Makai Williams back at the 30-yard line. He runs it up to the 40, 50, 45, comes back midfield 40. He's got a wall set up 35-30. Break it to the outside. Makai falls down at the 25. 1 more ankle broken, and it would have been a touchdown.
Yeah, I think he got tackled by his own guy right there. The feet tripped him up, but I don't know who Truell was throwing to right there, but there's one thing you're telling your quarterback you can't do is just throw late over the middle, especially in this scenario. But what I love is the way Makai Williams runs the ball. It's so patient. He just lets things kind of set up in front of him. It looks like he's just kind of on a leisurely jog, and then when it finally does set up, it's a bullet. But his leisurely jog is faster than most human beings.
That's true. So now
BC still has 1 timeout.
You still have your timeout left, and
you're already at field goal range.
A chance to, as you said, feel pretty good about getting 3 here, if
but
nothing else.
Quick switch, take a shot.
And now what do we have?
Take timeout.
Kyle Hockman wants to calm his group down and say, guys, we cannot give up a touchdown here. And I think kind of a tale of what we talked about in the pregame show from last week was if you're Kyle Hockman, you have to feel like you've played fairly good, and yet you could be down 3 scores here going into the locker room.
Yeah, and it's BC's defense really since that first drive where New Hampshire kind of went right down the field, zip, 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 has tightened up the zones. And that's what was there in the first drive is it's just a little bit too easy. You have to make them fit it into the zones, and BC's kind of taking that away, tightened it up, and I think playing a little bit more simple where you're just dropping back into coverage instead of trying to play that man and pass guys off. You just stick with who you got. So right now, BC's defense is executing. Even on the last touchdown drive that they gave up, it was, like we said, a long penalty and then what should have been an interception, freak play for a touchdown. Outside of that, in 1 drive, BC's defense has been standing on their head.
Trips to the right. 1 receiver is Josh Washington here to the near side. Omari all by himself takes the snap, throws it in the slot. Oh, that was dangerous.
Yeah.
Ron Mallard wasn't even looking.
That's two young guys right there. That's a young quarterback and a young receiver, and that's dangerous. He turned the wrong way. That's kind of a read play. And you see Ron Mallard kind of pat himself on the chest. He was supposed to take that out, and he turned in. And BC very fortunate that there wasn't a New Hampstead defender sitting right there. That's a pick 6.
So 2nd down and 10. 15 seconds. Cadets still have a timeout. They'll bring in Stanley Smart. Now do they just run it to the middle and call timeout? Nope, they'll play action. Wind up, throw, looking for Josh Washington up the left side. Did he catch it? No.
Goodness.
In and out of the hands. Boy, that would have been an unbelievable catch had he made it, and it's 3rd down and 10.
But what a throw. You talk about just put it up and let your receiver run underneath it. The safety kind of flat-footed right there. He had a level, and he had the angle on Josh Washington, but he was just slow getting back there, and just a perfect throw from Amari Burse. Josh Washington's like a half a step late.
Now what's the play here, Christian? Another
I'm running it.
Try to get 10 5, 6, 7 more yards.
Get what you can, then ask your kicker where he wants it.
Amari's going to throw it, pump fake it here to the near side, step up in the pocket, runs right to the middle of the field, and slides down on the right hash with 5 seconds. Danny Britt's going to call that timeout. And that's one of those where once he got to the middle, he turned right and slid.
Yeah, heads up play there from the sophomore quarterback. Aware, I mean, you couldn't ask for a bigger clock up there to look up and see how much time you have, but he made his break, picked up 4 yards, and hit the deck, let his coach get the timeout in, and now you have your kicker who's all-world everything, kicking from right dead center in the middle of the field.
It should be like a 40-yarder right down the middle, which Connor's got plenty of leg to do that. Maybe have a little bit of a breeze to help him out once it gets up there in the air. So 3 seconds to go and a chance to tack on a couple more here.
It might be the rose-tinted glasses of hindsight here, Kevin, but I wonder if that was a called draw where pump to the outside, and then because, again, you ask your kicker, where do you want it when you run those kind of plays, and it looked like he found a spot on the field and settled down. And, again, for a right-footed quarterback who kind of has been hitting a draw all night, to get towards that right hash makes a lot of sense to me.
So they'll place it down at the 30, 40-yard attempt, about 5 feet inside the right hash. And a chance for the Cadets to take a 34-15 lead out of the hold of Robert Leonard. The snap is good. Hold is good. What do we have? I think he shanked it.
That was good from 50.
Offside against New Hampstead.
That is the third offsides call tonight that BC is saying, we don't want it.
So now you got to kick it again. This time it'll be from 35.
So in the NFL and college, if there's offsides, they let the play go, and then if the coach after the play wants to take the penalty, they can. It's a free play. In high school, if it's offsides, they shut the play down and make you redo it. So that one was good from 50.
Somehow we move closer to the hash here on the reset. 2 seconds to go. It will be a 35-yarder for Connor Ferguson. Hold is good. Connor puts a big leg into it. It is right through the pipes. 34-15 our score here at the half. And Christian started off a little shaky after the Phoenix went right down the field, went for 2, got it. You're down 8-0 right out of the chute. Since then, it's been predominantly Cadets the rest of that first half.
Yeah, I think you got to tip your cap to the defense right now because they are mauling people up front and have done a much better job in the secondary. And then Amari Burst in this offense, it really started with Stanley Smart just dominating in that run game, have totally come alive here in that second quarter. And you're 2 quarters now away from guaranteeing yourself a playoff spot.
We've got the Bernard Williams Insurance halftime report coming to you right around the corner. Don't go anywhere and watch BC Sports.
BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on Facebook.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
At Benedictine alumni-owned Stacked Firewood Delivery, we're all about the best premium firewood, conveniently delivered in manageable stacks at the right price. We're talking kiln-dried, pest-free firewood. You see, our custom stack is equal to about 10 fires. Choose oak, cherry, hickory, or mixed hardwoods. Stacked Firewood Delivery. Go to stackedwood.com. That's stackedwood.com. BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like. Ace Hardware is celebrating 100 years of helpful, and Island's Ace Hardware is Savannah's own. 318 Johnny Mercer Boulevard in Wilmington Island. They're our hometown, locally owned Ace Hardware. From A to Z, they've got it all to help you get things done. Island's Ace Hardware is a proud BC sponsor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium at the half. Cadets with the lead, and again, got off to a precarious start. Rashawn Truell, red hot. They went right down the field on that Cadet defense and got very little resistance. And just like that, you were down 8-0. Since then, kind of figured some things out on the defensive side. Have allowed just one more score. But you could see as the first half went on, and we thought it might be the case. Talk about the pregame show, Christian. They do not have an answer for the three guys with their hand in the dirt defensively for BC.
Yeah, and it started with number 55, Cam Cody. He just started eating people alive on the inside, and when that happens, it wrecks everything for a quarterback, especially a pocket passer like Truell. So they started to get him on the move a little bit, but the secondary is locked in a little bit. We talked about it. If it's an instant read he can throw, you're not going to get pressure. But if you can hold up for 1-2 seconds, get that pressure in his lap a little bit, that opens up everything for you as a defense. So, yeah, it started with number 55, but also the guys on the back end, and then you've seen a couple times where Third Scroggins has just absolutely folded up an entire side of that defensive line or offensive line.
Yeah, and again, Mekhi Williams with a big interception there at the end. Really should have had a couple of interceptions. One probably should have been picked off, ended up going for a touchdown, and you kind of sit there going, oh, man, was that a momentum play that did? But then, again, much like they've done all season long, they immediately answered offensively and came right back and put points on the board.
Yeah, for a Wyatt Estabrook there, that's one of those ones where if you end up winning by 40, everybody kind of laughs and says it's fine. But if you lose, you're banging your head against the locker. I think he'll do that either way because it was just that ball was in the air for 5 seconds, and he was the only one around it, and it just went right through his hands into the receiver's hands, who stumbled in, surprising anybody in the stadium for a touchdown. So, freak play. I'm curious, Kevin, because I'm nosy, what was said to Cam Cody to get that dude that mad. Because that's a person who gets hit in the mouth over and over and over again as a nose tackle. Never seen him react, even kind of jaw at somebody. But twice tonight, he kind of had to be pulled away from that sideline, and a couple of personal foul calls. We don't know that the first one was on him, but certainly the second one was, and Danny Britt had to go to the field to pull that dude off. It takes a lot to get that guy that mad. I'm curious what was said.
Oh, his teammates were trying to calm him down, and he was not having
it. Well,
it.
Here's the thing. That's a large dude, and when you're trying to pull him and you can't move him, Danny Britt's like, okay, it's time to go out there with coach energy. And he said, okay, I'm done. I shut it down.
Yeah, and again, but defensively, they've been very, very good. I thought you made a point of it there towards the end of the first half. Omari running the offense looked very comfortable, and again, you put it on his arm a couple of times there where it could have been just as easy to say, hey, Stanley Smart's had a hell of a first half running the football. Let's just let him get us down the field. You put it on his arm, and he got you down there.
Yeah, and he's got the arm to do it. Now, he doesn't have a Truell arm or a Stephen Cannon arm where you're letting a play develop till it's 40 yards downfield and then cutting it loose. But if he's on time and throws it, he can make any throw you want him to on the field. We saw it on an incompletion to Josh Washington at the end. It is a perfectly timed football where Josh Washington ran underneath it, had a chance to catch it where it didn't look like anything was open. So I've been really impressed with that, and I've been really impressed with his ability to kind of navigate the pocket, step up, keep his eyes downfield, and try to find somebody open. And a few times he has, and we just got to get rid of whatever that jump pass is. Again, I think that's y'all's fault. The Little League baseball coaches teaching people to do that cool jump and throw back to first base. It's just ingrained in the back of his head now. But if he can play on his feet, that'll be a lot easier.
Yeah, again, he's done that the last couple, really since the Wayne County game. We've seen it against Wayne and Perry, and now tonight it's like, just don't do that.
Yeah.
Moving forward. We are at the half. Benedictine up big. They will get the ball to start it in the second half, but we're coming back with more of the Bernard Williams Cadet Halftime Report right here on Watch BC Sports.
And then along came Walker Jones.
Mom and Dad drove a Chevy. They're Mom and Dad too. Generation to generation, Chevrolet is America's heritage brand. And the best place to buy your Chevy is Walker Jones Chevrolet. They'll treat you like good friends and neighbors should.
Hi, I'm Joe Drawdy. I'm the General Sales Manager at Walker Jones Chevrolet. We've got it all. Why shop anywhere else?
Chevy. Together, let's drive. Walker Jones Chevrolet. Memorial Drive in Waycross and online at walkerjoneschevy.com.
When it it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the Shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on Facebook.
Welcome back here at the half, the Bernard Williams Cadet Halftime Report. We are joined by Michael Ganem, your son, Jack, playing here for the Cadets and up here big at the half over at New Hampstead. Before we talk about him, class of 99 from BC, what does that mean? I've talked to a lot of folks here at the half over the years, and it's always, hey, it's like no place else that brotherhood that's developed. What does it mean to you?
It means everything. I mean, people that are not BC folks, they don't understand. They don't get it. And those from out of town that move in and send their kid there, it's really special. I have a lot of people always coming up to me. Croman Hawks for a perfect example. John and I talk about it all the time. He's just like, this is something special you guys have that nobody else has in this country, and it's phenomenal. I love every minute of it.
What's it like seeing Jack out there playing, having a tremendous year as well?
He is. He's having a blast. I love watching him play. I'm sad that we're coming to the home stretch here. Hopefully we'll have a few more games here and go deep into the playoffs. And they got a really good team. They can take this all the way if they put their mind to it.
And again, what's that kind of been like riding the roller coaster here in 2024? Not just from the wins and losses, but just everything. Hurricanes and cancellations and games moved this way, that way. It's been hard to kind of feel like football season here in 2024.
It is. I'll tell you, just from a parent/fan perspective, it's been tough because you had some games get moved around and canceled, and you're always wondering what's going on, and then the storm. But the boys, I think, have pressed through, and the parents have as well, and we just love coming out Friday nights and tonight Thursday night and watching good football.
Talk about the football. Obviously, BC, a long tradition of football, and certainly since Danny Britt has taken over, it's even been kicked up to another level.
Yeah, I'll tell you, my big concern, I'm sure just like a lot of others, is BC's been so good for so long now with Danny at the helm, but now with this region mix-up, this is a brutal schedule, and If I could have one back right now, it'd be that Buford game.
Right.
Perry was a tough loss last week because I felt like we played a really good game. We just made a few mistakes at the end there. But it's, like I said, it's a lot of fun to watch. We got a good team, a lot of good athletes. And every time I talk to Jack about it, I mean, they're a team. They play as a team. They act like a team, and they're having a blast.
And again, it kind of felt like the playoffs started this week.
That's
and I was telling Christian, I was like, hadn't felt like that in a while, because it's been, okay, you're going to be in the playoffs, and it's been a while since hey, this is the last week. If you don't win, you may not be in the playoffs, and that kind of almost seems like a sacrilege, like that couldn't happen.
I know, and that's why, you hear little rumblings here and there about, well, if we lose this game, there's still a possibility. Like, let's not even talk about it. Let's not go there. Right. Let's take care of business tonight, move on, control our own destiny.
And again, speak to just the confidence of this football team. I know you lose your quarterback midway through. Amari's come in and played really well. Seems like he's found a special connection there with Jack, and they've hooked up for some big plays here the last several ball games. But you lose your starting quarterback, and this team offensively is seeming like they're kind of starting to find themselves.
They are. I mean, you saw it in the game when the moment Steven went down, the entire stadium just lost. It was just so deflating. And knowing Steven and the Cannons, they didn't let it slow them down, stop them. They've rallied up behind the team. The boys have stepped up behind Amari, and Amari has done a heck of a job. They're gonna keep fighting, and we're gonna love to see Steven come back when he's ready, when he's healthy. But Amari, it's his time right now. Let's go. Let's do it.
And he's got him up 34 to 15 here at the half. Michael Ganem, our guest. Hey, we appreciate you coming by, putting you on the spot here on the video part of it, but we appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Hey, we're coming right back with more of the Bernard Williams halftime report here on Watch BC Sports.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
Bowtie Barbecue has always been a work of passion. It takes time, skill, and a blend of perfect temperature, wood, smoke, and meats. We just took it up a notch. Taste the passion. Bowtie Barbecue, 6724 Waters Avenue.
You know, Christian, after a day of the hottest sports in town, sometimes you just gotta unwind.
Yeah, Kevin, and the perfect place to do it, Cool Vibes Pizza and Wings.
That's because Cool Vibes offers delicious pizza, wings, sandwiches, and salads, all with a Jamaican Caribbean island twist.
And the atmosphere is 100% kicked back. No worries, man.
Plus, they're the home of the Oxtail Pizza.
Cool Vibes Pizza, 4501 Montgomery Street, Savannah. That's coolvibespizza.com. Cool with a K.
Come on and unwind at Cool Vibes.
The honor, the heritage, the tradition of excellence. The home for Benedictine Cadets football is WatchBCSports.com. All the games, play-by-play, and in-depth analysis. Home of the Danny Britt Show. Be a part of the action as your Benedictine Cadets take the field in their quest for yet another championship. On the official home of the Cadets, WatchBCSports.com. And look for us on Facebook and Instagram at WatchBC Sports.
Welcome back here at the half. Cadets up 34 to 15 over New Hampstead. They will get the ball first coming out of the locker room here to start the second half. And again, you feel like you come out, you're comfortable now, you put points on the board, come out of the locker room. You're never going to say Rashawn Truell is put down, but it's one of those things where you could just put exorbitant amount of distance between yourself and them. And with your defense, the way they're playing, you feel like a repeat of last year would not happen.
Yeah, there's a couple ways this first, I'd say 4 or 5 minutes of the half can go. You can come out, you can establish a drive, you can put points on the board, you're feeling pretty good. Or you can come out, go 3 and out, or have to punt the ball later than that. They put points on the board, all of a sudden it's 34, 21, 22, and you're going, all right, hold on. We built that big lead, now it's starting to come back. It's momentum. It's all about momentum, and it always has been in football. So come out, you just got to keep your foot on the gas pedal here.
And this is a program that has done a great job of playing with pressure. Obviously,
sure.
Holden Gerder's team played with pressure very well. Luke Kromanock teams played with pressure very well. This team, some new parts. How do some of these guys react? This is a pressure ball game, right? You had to come out and win it. And so far, they're handling it well.
Well, how many times do we see it at any level of football, high school, college, NFL, where there's a team where you're waiting the entire season for them to put it together, and you know the talent's there, but they never do, and the season just kind of passes them by, and other teams go on to the playoffs or to the national championship or whatever it is, and that team just kind of has to start getting ready for next year. That's what this team was facing is you're too talented to not make the playoffs, but one loss, and that's what you could be facing right now. And you can have the excuses of there was a hurricane and we had a game canceled that we were going to play in Ohio, and we played a murderer's row of football teams and we lost our starting quarterback. You still have to play the games, and you haven't won enough to guarantee you a spot yet. If you do it tonight, you're in. So you can either be the team that says all the what ifs, or you can be the team that's going to keep fighting and gets to go play a playoff game in a couple weeks.
And again, still a lot of things to be determined. There's still another week of football statewide at around the state to determine things. Right. So I believe everybody but Ware and New Hampstead will have a week off next week.
Right.
And they will do a makeup game, but there's originally going to be a region off week. So the region would be off. Everybody else around the state, I say everybody, most everybody else is still playing next week, the final week of the season, and that could still sort some things out as far as who, what, when, where the Cadets might end up playing in the playoffs.
Well, I think everything got kicked back a week with the playoffs. So initially the playoff was going to be longer anyways because they put a bye week during the middle of the playoffs during the Thanksgiving week, right? Because they said it's so people can be home with Thanksgiving and just the way everything was scheduled up with Mercedes-Benz. I think we all know they didn't want to play on the same night as Georgia Tech and potentially lose out on those ticket sales. So that happened, but that kind of gave them the buffer for this to say, okay, never mind. Now we're playing on Thanksgiving week again. We're kicking that and we're moving it. Everything in front of that is going to get scrunched back up to give everybody in the state who had to miss, because it wasn't just where there was a ton of teams through Central Georgia who really, really took the brunt of Hurricane Helene, and even before that, a tropical storm before that kind of knocked some power out. So you're playing catch up, and BC is only going to play 9 games in the regular season this year. So it's going to be an interesting playoffs, but having a bye week ahead of it potentially after you win this one could be really beneficial for Benedictine. Absolutely.
And again, a chance to sit back, get healthy. I know they're in pretty good shape by and large, and a chance to kind of see who you might have to play. I know Danny Britt's good. I don't know, you call it a coaching cliche if you want, but he's like, hey, it doesn't matter who we play. We're going to be us, right? Yes. And so I appreciate that on some level, but also on some level, I know somebody's going to be like, let's see who we're playing. Let's see how we match up. I mean, it is that. But as you said, I think this is, and we said this in the beginning of the year, it didn't matter how it kind of ended up, whether it's BC potentially being the 3 seed or 4 seed or whatever. Whoever comes out of this region is getting a hellacious 2v3 matchup, and really the one from another region is going to get a tough out on a number 4 coming out of this thing. It's going to be an incredible playoff run. I mean, you're talking about Perry, Warner Robins is probably going to be the 4 seed coming out of this region. I mean, they're one of the winningest programs in the state all time. So 1 through 4, this region is a scary matchup. So just because you're the 3 and have to go on the road, I think you feel pretty good about whoever you get matched up with in round number 1.
Yeah, and again, like you said, the 4 seed could potentially be Warner Robins. And so, again, I always laugh when you have a region like this, because there's a region somewhere where someone's going to have an amazing year. They're going to go 8-2, 9-1, win their region. Everybody's patting themselves on the back, and then they look and they go, son of a gun. That's what I thought. When you get to be the 1 seed, you get an easy one in the first round. There's no easy teams coming out of this region.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got more to come here. Second half, the BC has come back from the locker room. Looks like New Hampstead is emerging from the locker room to go through their halftime re-warm-ups. We'll come back. We'll have the second half kick for you right around the corner. This has been the Bernard Williams halftime report here on Watch BC Sports.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
The honor, the heritage, the tradition of excellence. The home for Benedictine Cadets football is WatchBCSports.com. All the games, play-by-play, and in-depth analysis. Home of the Danny Britt Show. Be a part of the action as your Benedictine Cadets take the field in their quest for yet another championship. On the official home of the Cadets, WatchBCSports.com. And look for us on Facebook and Instagram at WatchBC. Tradition, honor, a culture of excellence. This is Benedictine Cadets football, built by Helpful Islands Ace Hardware, Savannah's locally owned and operated Ace Hardware. Live from the home of the Cadets, Memorial Stadium in Savannah, Georgia, your Benedictine Cadets welcome the New Hampstead Phoenix. Now, here's your hosts, Kevin Thomas and Christian Gokel.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. Kevin Thomas, he is Christian Gokel. As we get ready for the second half, Cadets will get the football first. Coming out of the locker room. Again, they have a pretty nice lead. It's going to come down, I think, here. How do you come out of the locker room? Do you just keep your foot on the gas, Christian Gokel, and not quite put this thing away, but I think going up potentially a fourth score, the way your defense is playing might put this game away.
Well, what's interesting, Kevin, and I don't even want to put it out into the universe, but I'm going to because it's my responsibility as a journalist. 30 points in the regular season, if you get that lead up to 30, which right now you're sitting at 19. If you get that lead up to 30 in the third quarter, coaches have to agree. Fourth quarter, it's a running clock, regardless of whether or not you want it. So this could be interesting for BC. Put a couple more scores on the board, and you can just milk away that fourth quarter.
So, again, Cadets will get the football first to start the second half on a Halloween night. It's been a lot of treats for the Cadets thus far. Again, kind of an interesting crowd setup. I think Thursday night for one, it's Halloween for two, but still a pretty good crowd here on the BC side.
Yeah, and an engaged crowd, too. Everybody's been with it every single play, kind of living and dying with what's going on. So a better performance tonight from the crowd, I'd say.
As the teams finish their warm-ups, we'll get the final 2 quarters of football, we presume, from Memorial Stadium here in 2024.
Okay, we got our first Luke Cromenhawk Seminoles jersey on the sideline right now. Next to the Waters. There he is. You're tracking.
Nah, I'm still blind as a bat.
This is really entertaining for the people listening. BC tent to the left.
Okay, there we go.
Hey, if you're going to dress up as anybody for Halloween, that's a pretty cool dude to do it.
He got some good run against Miami.
He did, and I think against Duke the week before, he didn't complete a pass, or he completed like one pass, but he was still ranked as one of the top 5 passing performers for PFF. So I don't know if that just tells you a lot about PFF, or that's just a lot of drops.
So if you're going to keep the red shirt, he can only play, 2 more games?
I believe. 4 games. I don't know if anybody cares about red shirts in college football anymore.
Well, you may have a valid point there. So here we go.
Unless you're that tight end that's playing for him that's like in his 9th year of college football.
That's Miami.
Yes, I'm saying.
Yeah, Miami's got one that's, I think, literally on almost his 10th year of college football.
And when you break both legs and you have a COVID year.
At what point do you say, bro, it's been a good one?
Never, man. That's the old ESPN. Never graduate.
Apparently. So Cadets will get the ball first. They've got Jack Gannum and Marquis Williams as kind of the second level ahead of Stanley Smart and Bubba Frazier. And so far the strategy has been, I don't know if it's a strategy as much, maybe they just can't kick it that deep, but they're not going to kick it deep.
And let me ask you for a breakdown here, Kevin, with something that I don't know. You're a dad. I'm not a dad.
Okay.
Michael Gannum, our halftime guest, is the only person standing up right now in the stands. Is that just he's hyped for football, or is that dad nerves?
And the Stephen Cannon's dad also standing
up.
over.
Cannon's up as well, but is that just dad nerves?
Dueling dad moves, yes. All right, here we go. Left to right. New Hampstead going to pooch it up the left side. Jack Gannum, speaking of, going to take it at the 21, 25. Comes back near side of the 30. Got a hole, 35 on his feet, and cuts back. And he'll get shoved down at the 36. Do they give him forward progress maybe to the 37? And that's where BC will take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, I mean, he just does good things when he gets the ball. And he's one of those athletes that if BC gets to go to the playoffs here, they're going to have to lean on.
So they'll get 1st and 10 here. And it will be, let's see if they, Mari Burst is going to lead him out. Didn't know if they'd want some Wildcat to start. Sometimes you see teams throw that wrinkle on the very first play out the locker room. But
and again, moving Jacoby Ward around. Started at right tackle tonight, moved to guard, now at left tackle.
They'll put Bubba Frazier in motion. Here's the snap. Oh, they dropped the football, and New Hampstead fell on it, I believe. No, BC got it back.
Oh, my goodness, that's fortunate.
Who was that? John Lilly saving the drive coming out of the locker room.
And it's for the fans at home, they had a guy come in motion, and they kind of faked it to him on the jet, and they were going to come back to the running back underneath that, but the jet guy kind of bumped the ball with his hip.
That was Bubba coming by.
But fortunate to only lose 3 yards there.
So it'll be second down and 13. Trips here to the left. They'll put Bubba out here to give him quads in that diamond formation. Oh, New Hampstead so late getting out there. They throw the bubble screen to Bubba Frazier and a nice open field tackle by Tyler Johnson, senior. And that time they were late getting out, and I think that kind of threw BC off on the blocking scheme there. He just dunked right under one guy and got Bubba on the bubble screen. It's going to be third and about 17.
Yeah, so we kind of talked about as you come out misfiring, you're leaving the door open for a fast-paced New Hampstead offense.
Empty backfield for Amari Burse here on third and long. Straight drop. All kinds of time. Throws over the middle. Caught Josh Washington. 45, 50. He's got a first down. At the 45 of New Hampstead. 40 still on his feet and dragging defenders down the field to the New Hampstead 37. A gain of about 28 on third and long.
Yeah, and just what can't happen is you can't let the receivers or the team's best receiver get lost in coverage, and that's exactly what happened. Great job by Josh Washington settling down in a pocket and making himself big in a strike from Amari Burse.
And Josh Washington's been the paper cut guy tonight. Hey, I'm going to catch it 5 yards off the line and cook you for another 10. Here's the snap to Amari. Just a poor throw, trying to get Bubba on the little flare route. And way out in front of him, it'll be second and 10.
Yeah, again, that hasn't been smooth. If there's been one thing you can kind of point at since Amari's come in at quarterback after Stephen Canaan's injury is that. Like what's usually just an extended handoff when Stephen Canaan's in there has become kind of a hurdle right now for this BC offense. Fortunately, it was a forward pass, so just incompletion.
Twins either side. They'll motion to Ron Mallett across the formation. Counterback with Smart up the middle. Inside the 35. He's still pushing and driving until they finally bring him down at about the 37-yard line. Excuse me, the 33-yard line. So give him a gain of about 4 on second down. It'll be third and about 6.
Yeah, third and manageable here. And also, Kevin, now under 10 minutes here to go in the quarter already. You're kind of doing your job. You got a long drive going on. You've taken 2, probably going to be 3 minutes off the clock here before this drive ends. So you've accomplished a goal already.
So on third down, New Hampstead coming after him. Here's the snap. They'll give it to Smart coming backside. They ran right into the teeth of that blitz. Christian, he's going to lose a couple of yards on the play. It'll be fourth down, and you're kind of in no man's land here.
Yeah, that's just a gamble there from New Hampstead. They sold out to stop the run there. That's a long field goal attempt, but again, high school, he gets it into the end zone. It's a touchback.
Yeah, I think they're going to try it. This would be a 51-yarder off the right hash.
I mean, he's got the leg all day for it.
Breeze not existent at the moment. So a 52-yard field goal officially from the right hash. Out of the hold of Robert Leonard. From 52, the snap, the hold is good. The kick from Connor's got a lot of distance. It is in there and good.
All day.
Plenty of room. It would have been good from 57, 58 yards. 52-yard field goal, Connor Ferguson. And it's 37-15. So you don't get the touchdown, you do get points. And BC extends the lead. We're coming right back. This is Cadets football presented by Islands Ace Hardware.
Ace Hardware is celebrating 100 years of helpful, and Island's Ace Hardware is Savannah's own. 318 Johnny Mercer Boulevard in Wilmington Island. They're our hometown, locally owned Ace Hardware. From A to Z, they've got it all to help you get things done. Island's Ace Hardware is a proud BC sponsor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium, a 52-yarder. You don't see those every day in high school football.
No, and it was good from 62. And what I thought was interesting, Kevin, is you look out on the line there, and something that stands out on most lines, but specifically when you go into a field goal, is your guy just to the right of center was number 72, Jacoby Ward. Nothing coming up the middle. But Danny Britt said earlier this week, it's time for all of the starters to start playing special teams. It's that time of year.
52-yarder off the leg of Connor Ferguson. And he'll kick it right to left. And it will sail 8 yards deep into the end zone. And New Hampstead will have it on the 20, first and 10. We'll see if they pick up the defensive momentum where they left off. I think 55 might have some unfinished business out there.
Well, now if you're New Hampstead, you're down 3 touchdowns, and BC just worked 3.5 minutes off the clock there pretty easily. So you don't have that many more possessions. You start doing that math there, that's 4, maybe 5 more possessions. You got to be dang near perfect going forward.
And you haven't really stopped the Cadets much either.
Yeah.
So here are the Phoenix, 1st and 10 from the 20. They'll put Rashawn Truell, pistol look. He's got a tailback behind him. Here's the snap. Play action, looking here to the near side. Going to wind up and let it rip up the left side. It's going to be broken up. Nice recovery. JoJo Sutton working against Maxwell. He knocked it away at the last minute.
I thought JoJo ran the route better than Maxwell there. Maxwell kind of had to come back and play defense a little bit. JoJo was tracking that one out of Truell's arms the entire time. So just better coverage. Like you said, it's gone more bump and run. It looked like he had behind them, but I think, again, JoJo was just tracking the ball.
That was 40 yards in the air, just
on
cutting loose.
On a rope.
Same formation for the Phoenix here on 2nd down. Cadets trying to make sure they're lined up on defense here.
Yeah, one of us a run, just try to get it to 3rd and manageable.
Here's the snap. Truell going to wind up, throw it up there again. What a catch. Kamari Maxwell out at the 45. He dumped it in between Mekhi Williams and JoJo Sutton.
It's the same one they scored a touchdown on in the first half on their first touchdown, where it's cover 2. There's a zone. It's not very big, and your quarterback has to have a big arm, but there is a zone between about 10 to 15 yards downfield, and he's hitting that. It's one of those ones where you're a coach, you just tip your cap and say, if you can hit that over and over again, fine.
The diving catch by Kamari Maxwell, and it was right there from Truell. It's 1st and 10. And here's the snap. They'll look near side, pump fake the wheel route, come underneath, and they have a man caught. And making the tackle is going to be Wyatt Estabrook working against the tight end, Mason Brown, and it's another 1st down.
And Kyle Hockman's in his bag right now. That was a fake on the little flare route, trying to get people to jump. BC defended that, and it looked like they were trying to hit the wheel deep, so BC kind of flowed towards the sideline, and they had a tight end coming across the middle on that, which Wyatt Estabrook was still there, but still just really difficult to defend and way too much time for him to sit back there and go through those reads.
So 1st and 10 all the way down to the BC 39, and this is what you worry about. They're moving quickly here with the football, picking it up in chunks. Here's the snap to Truell out of a pistol.
Yeah, Maxwell.
They come near side. It's caught Maxwell out of bounds, so they're going to say keep running the clock at the 34 of BC.
Yeah, Kevin, you run out of bounds backwards because you're scared to get hit? We're going to run that clock. At least that's what we used to say as a defensive back. Number 21, Maxwell, would absolutely obliterate me right now. So
2nd down and about 5 here for New Hampstead from the Cadet 34. And again, they've kind of gone back to the quick routes, and BC just can't quite get there on the pressure right now.
Well, and New Hampstead can't try to score in one play here. That's kind of where they got into in the second half and got in trouble. They have to just make this drive count.
They'll motion a tight end out in the flat. Here's the snap. Truell play action. It's pressured. He's going to go down. That's going to be Colby Brennan with a sack. A linebacker blitz. The senior gets home and wraps up Rashawn Truell.
Again, we said it on the last long completion. It was just way too much time for him to complete that one. So BC comes with some heat, and they're manned up on the outside. And I think Truell knew that, and he tried to come back after the play fake to the backside, but it's just too long.
And Colby Brennan, the inside linebacker, gets the sack. I guess he gets a snack as well.
Yeah, well, hey, who knows? But can we talk about it? Half the quarter's gone now. And you got to get the ball in the end zone 3 times if you're New Hampstead.
3rd down and 12. Empty backfield for the Phoenix. They've got trips up top. Stacked twins here on the near sideline. Truell, straight drop. He's looking. Going to be flushed out to his left. Going to wind up, throw it deep up the left side. 2 men for BC there. And
redemption, baby.
Estabrook with the interception up the right side. 20 shoved out of bounds to the 25. He wasn't going to drop that one. And BC with the interception in the turnover.
Yeah, I think the BC fans are starting to feel it now. You put some points on the board here, you can start to put this game to bed. That time, Estabrook was just playing his deep safety center field position, timed it up perfectly right there. You had a corner. I think it was JoJo running stride for stride with them, and the safety is just able to go up there and get a big interception. Now, if you're BC, again, same thing you did on that first drive. You're just moving the ball, working clock, trying to put some more points on the board.
5:39 to go here in the third. And the Cadets with a chance to really put this one away and start thinking ahead towards the playoffs.
We love a redemption.
It was kind of the same play he missed in the first half, almost the exact same kind of ball and route. Twins either side, they'll motion Bubba across the formation, give it to him on the way by. Stutter stepping, trying to get the corner turned, and not going to happen. He's going to lose it back to the 25. Lose about 3. It'll be 2nd and 13.
Yeah, 44's had a ball game for New Hampstead. Just set the edge right there.
And again, that time we talked about the difference in Stanley Smart in the first half. Put your foot in the ground, one cut and go.
Yeah.
That time, too much dancing by Bubba.
It's interesting. I don't know if Stanley Smart's had a touch here in the second half. That's probably going to change.
And they'll roll burst near side. They'll throw it underneath now.
Man.
And that was, again, just a quick give it to me route. And he threw it behind Mallard. Going to be a tough catch. It'll be 3rd and 13.
Again, 44 there in coverage from his linebacker position on Mallard. So I don't know if you're really going to pick up anything if he caught it anyway.
That is Cameron Blake Mays, 5'11", 210 at linebacker. Come in, play a little running back as well for New Hampstead.
What could be frustrating here is if this is incomplete, you didn't take a whole lot of time off the clock.
Here's the snap to burst. Omari flushed here to the short side, going to wind it up, let it rip up the near sideline, and incomplete. And he was throwing into triple coverage, looking for Ron Mallard up the near sideline, and maybe just trying to force something there, and BC's going to have to punt the football.
Yeah, and Kevin, you take about a minute maybe of game clock off there, less.
Yeah, really surprised as much success as you've had that you haven't gone more straight up power run with Stanley Smart here. 1 for the clock thing,
that's
but
why
2, just he was running it
out here.
Oh, that's true. Knock on the glass and tell Coach DePhillips what you think. Here's the snap.
I think he might.
Nice punt from Connor Ferguson, going to chase him all the way back inside the 23. Actually fell down. Did Maxwell trying to make the catch. And a huge punt from Connor Ferguson.
Yeah, I think AJ DePhillips might knock back if I knock on that glass.
So 1st and 10 for New Hampstead from their own 22. And probably as you said, Christian, the worst part about that is very little time ran off the clock. New Hampstead's still got to come down the field, but even with one run play or another run play, probably down under 4 minutes
right
here.
Again, you don't want to go into milk the clock mode in the third quarter, but it's game management.
So the Phoenix going to need to start putting points on the board if they're going to stay in this one. BC trying to put it away here and secure a playoff berth. Again, that's what's on the line for both of these teams. Here's the snap to Truwell, throws it out, caught. This is Kamari Maxwell, stutter stepping across the 30. He'll have the first down at the 34-yard line. They'll give him the 35, move the chains for New Hampstead.
Yeah, we talked about it, Kevin. You had probably 6 possessions. Going back to that last possession, you gave one away with a turnover. So now you really got to be perfect here.
And again, a lot of quick stuff for New Hampstead. And when they've tried to go deep, it's been knocked down or intercepted. Pistol look for New Hampstead. BC showing blitz, but I think they're going to back out of there and play coverage here. And here's the snap. Truwell on a straight drop. Now he'll flow here to the near side, throw it, and it's going to be almost intercepted. And Estabrook, I think, almost had another one as Truwell was looking for Ben Hockman here on the near sideline.
Talking about running a route for somebody. He was stride for stride and came back on the ball better than the receiver did. Trying to go for a second pick of the night. He's turning into a ball hawk, man.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10. And right now the Cadets are just pinning their ears back, playing pass coverage, and everybody but Rashawn Truell moved that time. And that'll back up New Hampstead 5 yards. Phoenix have a game with Ware County next week. And that is the only region action. I guess everybody in the region could be pulling for New Hampstead next week. That would shake things up.
Well, I'll say this. With all of the schedules and the realignment and stuff, Kyle Hockman's kind of the guy who stepped up and ate some of it and said, hey, we'll give up a home game against Ware. We'll go play them at Ware, and we'll be the ones who play that last week.
Here's the give straight ahead. In the hole is going to get maybe 5 yards. That was just a delayed draw kind of right up the middle, and it'll be 3rd down and 10.
Because before the GHSA moved things back, there was teams that were looking at playing 3 games in 8 days, region games in 8 days. And Kyle Hockman kind of stepped in and said, hey, we'll do this, and that'll free you up to do this, and kind of moved his team schedule to allow everybody as close to a normal schedule as possible.
So a lot of kudos there to Coach Hockman.
Big 3rd down.
3rd down and 9. They'll put Maxwell in motion. Now the snap. Truell going to roll. He is flushed and going to throw back across his body. Incomplete. Who was that? Paul Thompson giving him chase? I think it was. That was Gavin Smith giving chase. We saw Gavin come in and play left tackle against Rabun Gap, and has since not played a whole lot of offense at times. Kind of moved into more of a backup tackle role, and now we saw him out there on defense.
He's a good athlete, but Kevin, that time they tried to just kind of outflank BC, and everybody stayed at home. They're trying to run a tunnel screen, but now it's do or die time.
Yeah, they're going to go for – I imagine they're going to go for this. We've seen the pooch out of this formation before, but they're going to go for it on 4th down. At this point, it doesn't matter if it's 40-15 or 37-15. The snap to Truell. Looking, going to wind up, throw near side, and
like I say, you got it.
I thought it hit the turf.
That's
Incomplete.
Sure. Yeah, mark incomplete.
Late call there, but New Hampstead was begging for the call.
That's
just threw Mason Brown, the tight end.
Listen, high school, there's no replay, but that's one of those ones where you're looking at the receiver to see their body language, and 11 looked just as guilty of dropping that ball as anyone else. So it's just he didn't get up, kind of pointing for the 1st down, saying, hey, I caught the ball. He was just like, I didn't catch it.
You got to sell a little bit.
Yeah. So now a chance to kind of put this one away.
Got to get a 1st down at least.
Yeah. And I would imagine, Kevin, number 12 is going to touch the ball on this drive.
They stack receivers here to the near side. Bubba on the short side. He's manned up top. Smart is next to Amari Burse. As they take the snap, they'll fake it to him. Come back into slot. Josh Washington caught it down at the 26-yard line. That's going to be very close to a 1st down.
How big is that Josh Washington is having this kind of a game right now? He's just kind of been in no man's land these past couple of weeks, and it's hard. It's a new quarterback, and you're trying to find your way, but they've made a concerted effort to get him the football. I think they're just going to say they got a 1st down here.
They're going to, nope, 2nd and very short.
Yeah. They're going to bring it out.
I was going to say, when's the last time you see measurements anymore? It's kind of like they just eyeball it, and they're like, nah, you got it.
I don't know if we've seen any this year.
And in college football, you don't see a whole lot of measurements anymore.
They're not going to do it now either. It's going to say 1st down.
So 1st down and 10 for BC. And again, Josh Washington for BC has kind of been the death by 1,000 paper cuts tonight. It's been, hey, I'm just going to run a 5-yard route. You throw it to me. And
yeah, that one was an RPO. Both of the middle linebackers vacated their area, and Josh Washington just went in right behind him.
They go right back to him again, underthrew him. If he throws it out in front of him, that's probably a touchdown.
Yeah, but he had a guy, Burst had a guy right in his face, throwing off of his back foot. But, yeah, the inside linebackers are just selling out. So it's a pretty simple play. It's a zone run, and if everybody bails and comes to stop the run, you dump it to your guy underneath. If anything, I think Josh has to kind of cut that route off and come underneath a little bit quicker.
They'll go to the flex bone look. Under center goes Amari. They'll give it to Bubba off the right side on the end around. Cuts back inside. Still on his feet at the 20. Leans inside. And that's a pretty impressive 9 to 10 yard run. I think they're going to give him the first down. And that would be a BC Brothers moving the chains first down, and it is back to back. And that was an impressive 10-yard run by Bubba.
Yeah, and just patient. He got outside, cleaned his cleats, waited for that hole to open up, and hit it hard. That would have been a great film in 1965, just like it is in 2024.
Under center, lone tailback is Bubba Frazier. They got the extra tight end. They'll give it to Bubba. He cuts right side, and he'll have a couple of yards inside the 15 down to the 14. It'll bring up second down.
Yeah, I like these zone runs for Bubba because it gives him time to kind of look and find a hole. And that time he made what he could out of it because it was a bunch of Phoenix right there in his face.
Back to the flex bone. And this time they'll counter again to Bubba off the right side. He's going to have the first step. No, going to get drugged down about a yard short. I thought the way he was angled, he was going to get it, but nice defensive play there made on the far sideline. I believe, Christian, he was once again tackled by your guy there for New Hampstead, Cameron Blake Mays.
Yeah, he's having a great game.
So it'll be third down and about 2 from the 7-yard line, from the 9-yard line. They need the 7 for a first down. Here's the end around. This is going to be Jack Ganem. He's got some blockers, cutting it to the corner at the 5, 3, 2, 1, touchdown, Jack Ganem. And the lead extends for BC.
Yeah, same play. BC got flagged on for holding multiple times against Perry. That time, the official just understood that that's just a wide receiver blocking. It's not that crazy. And Jack Ganem just waltzes in untouched to the end zone.
So a chance to make it 44 to 15. And you are, one shy of that magic number for a running clock in the fourth quarter. Here's the extra point. It is up, and it is good. 44 to 15. Cadets out in front. 1:19 to go here in the third. We're coming right back. This is Cadets football, built by Islands Ace Hardware.
Bowtie Barbecue has always been a work of passion. It takes time, skill, and a blend of perfect temperature, wood, smoke, and meats. We just took it up a notch. Taste the passion. Bowtie Barbecue, 6724 Waters Avenue, Savannah.
They're playing Thriller here at the stadium in honor of Halloween, and it's been a thriller here for BC here tonight after the opening series from New Hampstead went right down the field for a touchdown. It's been virtually all Benedictine since that point on.
Yeah, really since the start of the second quarter, it's just been BC show, and it started defensively, and you're just getting the ball back to your offense over and over again, and they're just kind of now leaning on that New Hampstead defense.
Connor Ferguson to kick it off again. He's gotten his work in tonight. A 52-yard field goal, if you're just joining us, earlier in the third quarter. And he'll put his foot into it again, right to left, and it is way out of the end zone. And so New Hampstead will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20. And again, I think at this point, if you're New Hampstead, if you're Kyle Hockman, hey, let's keep working. Their season is not over. They still have another game. I think this eliminates them from the playoffs unless they could pull out a win against Ware. Even then, I think they'd be eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah, looking at things right now as the standings look, I think that would be it for them with the loss tonight, BCN.
But you'd like to keep the offense moving if you're Kyle Hockman and do something here for some momentum going into Ware County next week. Cadets still have the starting unit out there on the defensive side.
Yeah, because Warner Robins has the head-to-head win over New Hampstead. So even if New Hampstead finds a way to get a second region win, they'd still be tied with Warner Robins.
Here's the give off the left side to Blake Mazes, who's come in at tailback. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And so with a loss tonight, I think that's it for New Hampstead, and it kind of locks in the region as so long as Perry goes out and beats goes out and beats Warner Robins tomorrow night, because then you can get to a tie for the region crown with Ware. But either way, the top 2 seeds are going to be Perry and Ware County, and then you'd have BC in the 3rd spot and Warner Robins at 4.
Second down and 10. And again, New Hampstead not really in any kind of hurry here. I think they just got away with a false start by one of their guards. Truwell going to throw over the middle, and that time his tight end didn't even get his head around, looking with 21 seconds to go here in the quarter. And again, Perry and Warner Robins playing tomorrow. And again, that's the first time, Christian, you and I were talking about before the game, so earlier this week, first time that Perry and Warner Robins have played since I think the 50s or 60s?
Yeah.
Early 60s maybe? It's been a long time. You're like, hey, 2 schools that are that close.
Just different classifications for a long time, but when you cut out 7A and squish everybody down, start reintroducing a lot of things.
So that ought to be a good one tomorrow in region play. 3rd down and 10 for New Hampstead. And Truwell on a straight drop. Looking, he's going to step up in the pocket. And, he just stiff-armed Larson Little out at the 30. And he's going to have the first down. And Larson, that's just a matter of leverage right there. Truwell scoots taller and just put all 200 pounds on Larson Little, and that's going to be a first down with 10 seconds to go in the quarter.
That one will not make the Larson Little highlight tape, that's for sure.
And all the more reason for a guy like Truwell, you got to get down around the legs. And that's going to do it for the 3rd quarter. 12 more minutes to go here at Memorial Stadium. Final 12 minutes of the regular season here at home for BC. We're coming right back here on Watch BC Sports.
Walker Jones is your automotive superstore on Memorial Drive in Waycross. All the best brands: Chevy, Cadillac, GMC, Toyota, Nissan, and Honda, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, plus our pre-owned supercenter. And we're the home of the lifetime warranty. Come let us treat you like friends and good neighbors should.
Hey, I'm Mike Cuneo, General Manager at Walker Jones. We've got it all. Why shop anywhere else?
Online at walkerjones.com.
Walker Jones.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium as we're jumping around to get to the 4th quarter.
I thought they say this for Cam Randall.
Well, there's been a lot to get excited about here for the Cadets tonight on a Halloween night. Remember, the Reese Cups are for the adults. If you're going through your kids' bag tonight.
Y'all don't want those Almond Joys. Send them my way.
Always be sure to inspect your children's candy, especially the good one, the good candy. Final 12 minutes to go here from Memorial Stadium. Final 12 minutes of football for BC at Memorial Stadium this season, barring something strange happening in the playoffs.
Say, never count it out, Kevin.
Cadets leading it big here as we start the 4th quarter. And it'll be 1st and 10 for New Hampstead. Truwell looks up the right side, and it's going to be popped up. Did he catch it? Yes.
Good night.
It's going to be caught by Hockman. No, that's Maxwell.
Yeah. Maxwell just a freaking vacuum cleaner, man.
I thought somebody got a hand on it. He still pulled it in. So move the chains again for New Hampstead. And the clock continues to roll here. And again, I think for Kyle Hockman, he would take a miracle in this one, and you're trying to build some momentum going into the season finale. Here's the snap, a give straight ahead.
Oh,
BC reads it well. And, oh my goodness, what a lick! Brought on by Isaiah Jones. That was disgusting.
Kevin, I felt it in my soul.
That one got you fired up.
Yeah, it's such a clean hit, too, but he just got stood up, and Isaiah Jones comes in and lays the lumber to finish the playoff. And it's clean, but just I've been so desensitized to big hits like that, Kevin. I just was expecting the flag.
I was stacked firewood right there.
Oh,
you brought a little lumber.
Goodness.
That is one for the tape vault.
Yeah. You're checking for teeth.
So here's 2nd and 9 for New Hampstead. They're at the BC 46 rather. And now here's the snap. Truell.
What a throw,
Just hit
man.
Maxwell again in stride on the slant. He beats JoJo Sutton coming inside, and that's just that timing route. He's got it down.
Yeah, and it's just those two guys have run that route and thrown that route a million times together, and it just looks so smooth.
So move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Cadet 26. Twins up top out of the pistol for the Phoenix. Here's the snap. Truell going to give. This is Blake Mays, the linebacker, now running back, and he'll push towards the 20. They'll call forward progress at the 22.
Yeah, BC's okay with that.
And that'll burn up some more time. It'll be 2nd down at about 6.
It's kind of like baseball when you have a big lead here, Kevin. You're okay giving up a score so long as it's not the big one. You just can't give up a big play, quick touchdown. If they work their way down the field, taking 3-4 minutes off the clock and punch it in, that's fine. Speaking of which, did you enjoy watching the Sith play? I don't know, somebody else bad in the World Series?
Nobody won. Here's another just slant route to Maxwell, tackled by Makai Williams and Zach Maxwell. And Truell and Maxwell certainly been in sync all night. Kamari Maxwell has to be about his 8th or 9th catch of the night.
Yeah, but again, BC is going to let him have that underneath stuff right now. Still tight coverage from BC's Maxwell. Now watch for a little sluggo here, a little slant and go at the top.
Here's the give. Straight ahead, this is Blake Mays. He'll get 2 or 3 yards before he's spun around. That was Isaiah Jones and looked like maybe Larson Little in there on the tackle. That'll bring up 2nd down and 7.
Again, just clock is rolling.
And I think if you're Galen Houston, you're like,
yeah, it's base. Keep everything in front of you.
Just don't let him score a touchdown. You'll be all right. Clock keeps rolling. 8.5 or so to go here in the 4th. And now what do we have? Timeout called by Kyle Hockman. I don't think they had the right personnel on the field. He'll talk it over with his bunch. He is upset at somebody back there on that sideline. We'll step aside. This is Cadet Football built by Island's Ace Hardware.
Ace Hardware is celebrating 100 years of helpful, and Island's Ace Hardware is Savannah's own. 318 Johnny Mercer Boulevard in Wilmington Island. They're our hometown, locally owned Ace Hardware. From A to Z, they've got it all to help you get things done. Island's Ace Hardware is a proud BC sponsor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
At Benedictine alumni-owned Stacked Firewood Delivery, we're all about the best premium firewood, conveniently delivered in manageable stacks at the right price. We're talking kiln-dried, pest-free firewood. You see, our custom stack is equal to about 10 fires. Choose oak, cherry, hickory, or mixed hardwoods. Stacked Firewood Delivery. Go to stackedwood.com. That's stackedwood.com.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. 8:32 to go here in the ball game. Cadets up big. And in 8:32, they'll know they are yet again in the playoffs. It won't be as a 1 or 2 seed, which they've become accustomed to. They'll have to go on the road. But, Christian, the way this team has played, even in losses against some great competition, you feel like they are prepared to go on a playoff run and certainly aren't going to be a team that's, even as a 3 seed, to be taken lightly here in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think these last 3 weeks show they can play with anybody in the state.
So here it is, 2nd down and 7 from the BC 13. Here's Truell out of a shotgun. He'll take a straight drop. Looking, he'll lob one over the middle. It's caught. That is Kamari Maxwell, and that is a touchdown, and he just outran everybody to get to that football, and they put it in the end zone.
Yeah, just a big hook route over the top, and it's all timing there. That's a college quarterback throwing to a college receiver just in a high school game right now, and that was impressive stuff that entire drive.
So Phoenix back on the board. And they will kick the point after here. And it will be Jamal Brown to kick the extra point, and he puts it up and through. 44-22, our score with 8:26 to go here in the fourth. And the Cadets up big. This is Cadets football built by Island's Ace Hardware.
BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on Facebook. Bowtie Barbecue has always been a work of passion. It takes time, skill, and a blend of perfect temperature, wood, smoke, and meats. We just took it up a notch. Taste the passion. Bowtie Barbecue, 6724 Waters Avenue, Savannah.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. New Hampstead has put one in the end zone. It's 44-22. And now if you're BC, you'd like to go on about a 4.5-minute drive wherever you get this football and kick a field goal, score a touchdown, whatever. Just put this game away and get out of here and get ready to go into an off week and get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, and Kevin, it's just you mentioned it. Now you're going to a 4-minute offense here. You just want to pick up a first down and then let all 35 seconds of that play clock bleed out, take the next snap, and go from there. You want to eat up at least get it under 7 minutes before you put the ball back in New Hampstead's hands.
Phoenix are going to onside kick it here, so you're going to get it in great field position, providing you just come up with the football. And they got one of those formations where they could kick it to either side. And let's see which way they go. They kick it. Oh, they're going to kick it right down the middle, try to catch BC sleeping. It's going to be picked up by who grabbed that? I thought it was going to be Robert Leonard, and then it's Amari Burris back there on the hands team, and he falls on it about the 22-yard line.
I'm not returning this.
If he did, I think every coach on the sideline would be screaming at him to get down.
Yeah, he had of all 11 guys out there, he was the one with the directions of if you touch the ball, go down.
So BC will take it. And again, New Hampstead's decision to do that, if you're able to put together a drive, actually just gives you 20 more yards or so to work with.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if that was just a mishit.
So they actually spot it up to the 23. And if I'm the Cadets, I'm handing out a healthy dose of number 12 right now. Under center goes Burst. Here's the snap. They go straight ahead. And there's Stanley Smart right up the middle, rolling over New Hampstead Phoenix and pushed across the 35 to the 36. And that'll be more than enough for a first down.
Yeah, I mean, he's been good for 10 yards a carry tonight. I wouldn't stop until he does.
And right now you got some youngsters out there. You got Chris Stokes in at one of the slot backs. He's a freshman. Aaron Mallard, a sophomore out there, and also at one of your receiver spots, you got Karan Hall, 6'4", sophomore. So doing some resting of Bubba Frazier and others while you're up big.
Bubba's played a lot of snaps tonight. The last thing you want is to get him hurt. I wouldn't be surprised if he was done, just up 22 points.
So Amari will go under center. Yeah, they're in no hurry, all the way down to 5 on the play clock. He'll snap it. Give it on the end around. This is going to be the freshman. A flag comes out. It'll be Chris Stokes, the freshman. He gets stood up, losing yards. You see New Hampstead saying decline the penalty. Holding against BC. They're going to decline it, and it'll be second and about 13. And I know you're trying to get some young – that's the one thing I know it's frustrating. You try to get some young guys, some carries. They get in, and it goes for negative yards.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be there regardless of who was in there because 44 was, again – standing there, setting the edge. So I like the decision. It's not a wholesale change. Your offensive line's still in there. You still get your starting quarterback. You still get your starting running back out there. It's not wholesale, but you're getting guys out who you need to be healthy in the long run.
So it'll be second down and long here. They'll put Burst back in a shotgun with twin receivers to either side. New Hampstead showing blitz. And good pickup by Stanley Smart, who called that out. And Amari's going to change the projection. Here's the snap. Amari on a straight drop. Looking over the middle. Slings it. Caught. That is going to be Josh Washington. And that's going to be a first down out to midfield and move the chains. BC Brothers moving the chains, first down.
Good job by Josh falling down inbounds too. But that's the second time tonight it's been second and long, third and long, and they've just found him sitting in a hole. Really good job. They're starting to develop that connection.
So 1st and 10 here for BC. And again, you got a lot of young guys here. Smart, lone tailback. Is Burst going to go under center? And he'll snap the football with 3 seconds on the play clock. They'll give it to Stanley. He'll go straight ahead. Oh, just went mano-a-mano in the hole at the 45 of New Hampstead. And give him a gain of about 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and 6.
But still, I think that's the most clear evidence of just somebody listening to coaching that we've seen so far this year. And Stanley Smart they told him, you are the type of running back who has to run blindly into the hole that we call. And then from there, you can make magic happen, but you need to trust us for those first couple of yards. And that time, he just put his head down, went through the hole that was called, and picked up 5 yards.
BC is burning all kinds of time now on the play clock. Out of the flex bone. Here's the give. This will be Mallard coming back here to the near side. He'll cut it inside the 40. Still on his feet, shoved down, and he'll get a first down. BC Brothers moving the chains. First down at the 38 of New Hampstead.
Yeah, BC just starting to lean on him now.
And again, this is something I know the coaches will talk to Danny Britt coming up in the attorney Jonathan Dunn postgame show. The ability to do this, not against New Hampstead, but against anybody.
Yeah.
Against Ware, against Perry, whoever you might run across in the playoffs, that's going to the ability to line up and smash somebody in the face with the run game and milk the game away. That is something that coaches try to ingrain in their teams, in their programs. And the fact that you're able to line up, you took over with 8 minutes, you've burnt 3 minutes off already. Just straight running the football out of the flex bone. Here's the give, though. Give it to Stokes coming back here to the near side. He'll turn the corner
Stokes has got some wheels.
Shove him out of bounds. Nope, they're going to say he stayed inbounds at the 29, so give him a gain of about 8 there on first down.
29 showing off some wheels there. He beat a couple of starting linebackers to the sideline right there.
Excuse me, that's Henderson, number 29.
Oh, Henderson showing off wheels. I mean, he's about half legs, just quads.
So it'll be 2nd down and very short.
And again, you don't have to snap this until you're under 4 minutes to go.
And Burse, I guess that's the one he's comfortable with. He keeps turning around and looking at the play clock in the north end zone. And like Amari, there's one right in front of you in the south end zone.
I don't know if he's turning around to look at that or maybe he's looking at Danny Britt.
Here's the snap. They'll give it. This is going to be Stanley Smart straight ahead. Should have the first down towards the 25. And he does. And that's another BC Brothers moving the chains. First down, BC Brothers moving. And again, as we get to the final regular season ball game here, appreciate BC Brothers moving. If you are moving across town, out of town, or in town, BC Brothers moving, get the job done for you. So stop the clock on first down. Not sure why we haven't started the game clock yet.
They did.
There it goes. Amari will step back in a shotgun. Trips here to the near side. He'll take the snap, the give. Stanley Smart straight ahead. Spins towards the 20. Still on his feet, pushing. Awfully close to a first down. They're going to give him the 15. If they do, that's a first down. Another BC Brothers moving the chains, first down.
Almost picking it up in too big of chunks now because you're running out of room to run clock.
Working on a 5-minute drive right now is this BC offense.
I mean, you have just taken all of the air out of New Hampstead.
And now you're, as you said, Chris, you're at that part of the field where I think you're going to have to score or give the ball back because you're not going to have enough real estate to burn the game. Maybe if you get one more first down.
If you think you get one more first down, yeah.
Out of the flex bone, bursts under center. They give it to Stanley Smart. That's going to get nothing. Just great penetration. Did the ball come out?
I think
they're going to say it's down here. Look who came out of there with the ball. Did they time out New Hampstead? That was, once again, Christian, number 44 for New Hampstead, Cameron Blake Mazes. And it'll be second down and 11 for BC coming out of this timeout.
Yeah, he's a stud. He's had a heck of a game tonight.
Is Kyle Hockman trying to get this ball back?
I mean, listen, last game of the year, Kevin. Can't hold anything
well,
back.
For BC.
Second to last. Last chance to make the playoffs, Kevin.
Again, the Phoenix will play Ware County next week. The rest of the region will be off. The big one tomorrow night for Cadet fans to follow will be Warner Robins and Perry. They are playing tomorrow night. But most likely scenario with this one, Christian, is BC going to be the 3 seed.
Yes.
And will be headed on the road in 2 weeks for the first round of the playoffs. It's just a matter of where and against who. Are you checking out region standings?
I am.
As it lines up right now? And again, this is still with some games to be played. And here's the give coming near side. It's going to be a Ron Mallard cutting inside the 10 to the 5, down to the 2. And that'll be a BC Brothers moving the chains, first down. And now with 2:10 and a 40-second play clock, you can almost run this game out.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some knees taken here.
And again, I guess a lot of people, you say, well, just go ahead and punch it in. But I think a lot of respect for Kyle Hockman across the way by Danny Britt.
Or maybe you try to punch it in.
Let's see what they try to do. They're in a shotgun. They got it. Ron Mallard to the left. Here's the snap. It'll be the give to Ron coming near side. He's going to turn the corner and spin around. Going to be turned back at the goal line. And we got a New Hampstead Phoenix player down, and that's not what you want to see. Holding that knee, Christian Gokel is, again, you're 131 away from the game being over. And for anyone in this situation, New Hampstead still got one more game, but not seeing who that young man is down. But you don't want him to be a senior. Maybe you're a minute and a half away from the game being over, and you potentially have a career-ending knee injury. You can't finish the season the way you want to.
Right, and Kevin, obviously, hope that young man's okay, but looking at this playoff schedule, it looks like BC will be on the road at Tucker. Tucker has one game left. They're taking on Marist next week, and if they can
that's for the region championship.
If basically they can somehow get the upset there, then they'll be able to take the region, and then BC would be at Marist. But Marist undefeated, powerhouse right now. So if I had to put money on it, you're at Tucker, but either way.
And I'm assuming they have the tiebreaker over St. Pius.
Yeah, Tucker did beat St. Pius.
So they're tending to the young man for New Hampstead down inside the 5.
Last week by 2 points.
Oh, wow. Heck of a ball game there. And we'll take a break while they tend to him. And they are looking at the lower leg of that young man. We'll come back here to Memorial Stadium. This is Cadet Football on Watch BC Sports.
Bowtie Barbecue has always been a work of passion. It takes time, skill, and a blend of perfect temperature, wood, smoke, and meats. We just took it up a notch. Taste the passion. Bowtie Barbecue, 6724 Waters Avenue, Savannah.
You know, Christian, after a day of the hottest sports in town, sometimes you just gotta unwind.
Yeah, Kevin, and the perfect place to do it, Cool Vibes Pizza and Wings.
That's because Cool Vibes offers delicious pizza, wings, sandwiches, and salads, all with a Jamaican Caribbean island twist.
And the atmosphere is 100% kicked back. No worries, man.
Plus, they're the home of the Oxtail Pizza.
Cool Vibes Pizza, 4501 Montgomery Street, Savannah. That's coolvibespizza.com. Cool with a K.
Come on and unwind at Cool Vibes.
The honor, the heritage, the tradition of excellence. The home for Benedictine Cadets football is WatchBCSports.com. All the games, play-by-play, and in-depth analysis. Home of the Danny Britt Show. Be a part of the action as your Benedictine Cadets take the field in their quest for yet another championship. On the official home of the Cadets, WatchBCSports.com. And look for us on Facebook and Instagram at WatchBCSports.
Welcome back. The young man injured for New Hampstead, Keone Garcia, a junior defensive lineman for the Phoenix, and he is being helped off by a couple of his teammates, so you hate to see it for that young man. And when something like that happens, Christian, if you're BC, a minute and a half, do you just knee on it and
so it's
get out of here after something like that happens and just say, let's get out of here?
It's second down, so when they wind the clock here, you should be able to get this down to right just north of 50 seconds. Take a knee on third down, you can get it down to about 15 seconds. So there's going to be 10, 15 seconds you have to account for.
And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're in the victory formation on the 1 yard line. Second and goal, they're going to let it run all the way down. Play clock is at 18, so you're going to get, as Christian said, probably close to 50 seconds. And this might be one where you tell Amari, just stand up for a couple of seconds before you take a knee and burn everything you can here. He goes under center. Snapped it a little early and takes a knee. Somebody got bowled over there.
Hey, listen, victory formation doesn't mean we're idle.
Yeah.
You still got to be ready.
And BC going to have to snap it one more time on third down. They haven't started the play clock yet.
That's a little home cooking?
Yeah, they're not going to do it. Now they start the play clock, so BC will not have to snap it, Christian. They're going to let it run down. They'll run towards midfield. Excuse me, Danny Britt, Kyle Hockman will exchange a handshake. And BC will finish the regular season with a win in their final home game. And BC will be headed to the playoffs, as Christian said, most likely as a 3 seed. We'll see.
I don't think most likely. It's guaranteed now. With the win, it's locked in as a 3 seed. Now we just got to figure out where we're going.
It'll either be Tucker or Marist. I think they're about a few miles apart from each other. So
we'll be in the metro Atlanta
You'll
area.
be in that same general vicinity in a couple of weeks. BC has the off week coming up next week. And then probably headed to Tucker if things hold as they have all season long. There's the final buzzer. Cadets 44, New Hampstead 22. We're coming right back for the Attorney Jonathan Dunn postgame show here on Watch BC Sports.
Ace Hardware is celebrating 100 years of helpful, and Island's Ace Hardware is Savannah's own. 318 Johnny Mercer Boulevard in Wilmington Island. They're our hometown, locally owned Ace Hardware. From A to Z, they've got it all to help you get things done. Island's Ace Hardware is a proud BC sponsor.
Ace is the place with the helpful. And then along came Walker Jones.
Mom and Dad drove a Chevy. They're Mom and Dad too. Generation to generation, Chevrolet is America's heritage brand. And the best place to buy your Chevy is Walker Jones Chevrolet. They'll treat you like good friends and neighbors should.
Hi, I'm Joe Drawdy. I'm the General Sales Manager at Walker Jones Chevrolet. We've got it all. Why shop anywhere else?
Chevy. Together, let's drive. Walker Jones Chevrolet. Memorial Drive in Waycross and online at walkerjoneschevy.com. Looking for authentic, traditional Southern cuisine for your next special event, reunion, wedding, or celebration in Savannah? For over 45 years, Barnes Restaurant is the most experienced, trusted caterer in all of Savannah. Groups 50 to 5,000. No event too big or small. Barnes does it all. Online at barnesrestaurant.com. BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on Facebook.
Final of the night, Cadets win big, 44-22 over New Hampstead as we begin the Attorney Jonathan Dunn post-game show. Christian Gokel, as you finish the regular season with a win. Now you get a week off and then the playoffs.
Yeah, I've loved how this team has bounced back challenge after challenge after challenge, and there's no quit. There's been mistakes, and there's been shooting yourself in the foot, and then there's just been things you can't control like injuries, but time after time, you've battled back. You finished the regular season battle-tested 5-4, showing you can go just with anybody for the full 4 quarters. And tonight you came out like a championship team, and against an upstart team that felt like they had a chance to come out and just go blow for blow with you. You kind of put them to bed in the second quarter, and were able to just in the second half kind of coast. So it's what really good teams do. They come out in the first quarter, take your best shot. Cool, here's ours, and then we're going to show you why we're the better team in the second quarter, and that's what BC did. But credit to New Hampstead on what's been an excellent season. I know they still have one more game, but this reach is brutal, and it comes down to 1 or 2 players, 1 or 2 plays every game, and they kind of – I think everybody found that out this year, but New Hampstead put a scare into BC early, but just not enough at the end.
I think in a lot of regions, New Hampstead's a playoff team for a number of regions, and this one just very tough. For BC, second half offensively, Coach Britt said last week, hey, we played good enough to win the game, but we just did things that didn't allow us to win the game. Tonight, offensively, they did those things. That allowed them to win the game. Took care of the football, burned clock when they needed to burn clock, held the ball for 8 minutes there at the end of the ball game.
That's unbelievable.
I know folks won't say a whole lot about that, but you're up 44-22. You get the ball with 8 minutes. You and I were over here talking, saying, hey, 3 minutes, punt the ball, whatever you have to do. They burnt the whole rest of the game up with an 8-minute drive. That's things that maybe it ain't 8 minutes against a team like Tucker, but hey, if we need 5 minutes, we feel like we can do it. So what a huge way to finish the ball game for them.
Yeah, and I think what impressed me the most tonight was just the control on the offense. And it against Wayne, it was see what you got, go out there and make some plays. And there were some explosives, but that was an outmatched Wayne team. Last week against Perry, it felt like you were almost surprised when you hit the big play, right? It's still, you have a very good offense. You're able to run the football, but you're like, oh, we completed that. Now it's starting to feel a little bit more expected. Now, it's not that same kind of lethal feel that you had when Stephen Cannon was out there operating it. But again, you got to think he had a whole offseason to get ready, and then it didn't feel lethal for him the first few weeks of the season too. So I think week after week, this offense is getting more and more comfortable with the guys that they have in there right now. I think Jack Ganham has been a breath of fresh air in the second half of the season. I think Ron Mallard's giving you 1 or 2 touches a game that are really big, and then guys like Bubba Frazier, Stanley Smart, Josh Washington just had massive games tonight.
Again, so that brings us to our Stacked Firewood Defensive Player of the game. We'll talk about the offense here in a minute, but the Defensive Player of the game brought to you by Stacked Firewood. A number of directions you could go tonight. A couple of guys with interceptions, sacks, dominating play up front. Where are we going?
So I'm glad we are starting on the defensive side of the ball, because I think that's where everything kind of shifted. And I'm going to go with Wyatt Estabrook. I think the redemption that he showed, he didn't get out. He didn't get out of his mind when he missed that interception to let the touchdown in. He was there in coverage consistently the entire game. He did end up getting a big interception. Probably could have had another one there. I mean, dude could have had 3 interceptions tonight, but he was there in coverage. He ran routes for other people. I think both safeties ended up with the pick, but just watching it, Mackay kind of played that center field role a lot more. It was Wyatt who was stepping up, playing coverage at the line and then dropping back and helping guys over the top. So he's my defensive player of the game.
And again, a number of guys you could have gone with there, but Wyatt Estabrook, our Stacked Firewood defensive player of the game. Let's go to our Cool Vibes Pizza player of the game. Again, a number of candidates tonight. Omari played well. Stanley Smart played well. Josh Washington played well. There's several guys who are in the running for that honor tonight.
You said a lot of offensive guys, Kevin.
Okay.
I think defensive guys can win this award as well.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not coming at you. I just these standards with the Heisman Trophy and all of the NFL MVP, they're just quarterback awards now or wide receiver awards. Cam Cody set the tone in this football game, and it felt like an even match through the first quarter until number 55 started picking up human beings and depositing them 5 yards in the backfield. That wrecked everything New Hampstead was trying to do. All of a sudden, a drop back passing team, they were having to boot to the outside. And I know offenses do that to simplify things for the quarterback. For a defense, it simplifies things too, because cool, we only have to defend half the field. So I think number 55, he got a personal foul, but I think that's an emotional one. He was so daggone fired up that have been some job going on, but we don't know what they said. So to be
Right.
fair, but you can't have the penalty, but still just the utter domination that he showed, just caving in that line time and time again. We said 8. It's the Cool Vibes player of the game, Cool Vibe Pizza player of the game. Number 55, 8.
He did. And maybe they said they were going to take his trick-or-treat candy. I don't know.
Whatever they said was not smart.
So our Cool Vibes Pizza player of the game, and he's going to be somebody certainly to watch going into the playoffs, Christian, as him and Third Scroggins. We've seen Jameer Lee. I think we've seen Paul Thompson, a number of guys to play off as that third lineman out there. That front has done a great job the last 3 or 4 ball games.
Yeah, I think it's just like an offensive line where you kind of have to get and feel what you're doing and what the calls are, because they ask those guys to do a lot. It's not just lining up and doing the same thing over and over again. We saw Third Scroggins. He lined up as a stand-up outside linebacker. He put his hand in the dirt. He flipped over from strong side to weak side. Same thing with Cam Cody. He played nose tackle a lot. Then he'd slide out, play 3-tech, but then he'd go outside and play defensive end. So, I mean, they asked these guys to do a lot. Paul Thompson, same thing. He's in and out, and it's just – they're executing at a very high level right now, and I think they found a rotation, including Jameer Lee, that they feel really confident in, and those guys are just, again, they're not getting pushed back. They're consistently caving in the pocket, and that's making quarterbacks get rid of the ball quick.
So, again, dominating performance by the Cadets tonight. We are awaiting a conversation with Coach Britt.
If Dennis Knight would just wrap up his daggum interview down there.
But we will chat with Coach Britt coming up in just a little bit. And now you've talked to Coach Britt each and every week. You'll get a chance to talk to him again coming
2
up
more times
at,
get a bye week, right?
at Bowtie Barbecue. And he is big on, hey, it's us. Don't care who we play, but you get a week off. And how do you think he feels about his team? I know he wishes they would have had the Perry game back, but how do you think he feels about his football team heading into a postseason run here?
You're in the playoffs, and I think the playoffs started this week because you had to win this one to get in and guarantee yourself a spot. So you're in the playoffs now, and you get a bye week going into that next round. So I think he's fired up, and I think this whole team is fired up because it's hard to realize it in the moment, but you got an outstanding football team. And I know 4-point losses suck, but I think last week showed you can play with anybody. And so if anything, I think that kind of breathes some life into this team. Coach Brent said, man, after that Ware game, even during the Ware game, just all the air got let out of the balloon. And it was hard to convince even some of the players that we still got a lot to play for. There was a lot of the season left at that point. And it's because one guy gets hurt, albeit the most important guy. You have too much talent on this team to not make the playoffs and not make a run. So now, again, you are one of the more talented teams in the state heading into the playoffs. You're just doing it a little bit different way as a 3 seed.
We will chat with Coach Danny Britt when we come back as the attorney Jonathan Dunn post-game show rolls on here on Watch BC Sports.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
The honor, the heritage, the tradition of excellence. The home for Benedictine Cadets football is WatchBCSports.com. All the games, play-by-play, and in-depth analysis. Home of the Danny Britt Show. Be a part of the action as your Benedictine Cadets take the field in their quest for yet another championship. On the official home of the Cadets, WatchBCSports.com. And look for us on Facebook and Instagram at WatchBC. Looking for authentic, traditional Southern cuisine for your next special event, reunion, wedding, or celebration in Savannah? For over 45 years, Barnes Restaurant is the most experienced, trusted caterer in all of Savannah. Groups 50 to 5,000. No event too big or small. Barnes does it all. Online at barnesrestaurant.com. Ace Hardware is celebrating 100 years of helpful, and Island's Ace Hardware is Savannah's own. 318 Johnny Mercer Boulevard in Wilmington Island. They're our hometown, locally owned Ace Hardware. From A to Z, they've got it all to help you get things done. Island's Ace Hardware is a proud BC sponsor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Welcome back here to the Attorney Jonathan Dunn postgame show. We are joined by Coach Britt, and 44-22 win over New Hampstead tonight. And Coach, the first drive, they went right down the field, no runs. It was all Truwell throwing it against you. After that, you guys, for the most part, locked him up for the rest of the game.
Right. They came out and had obviously a good script. Hopman's a very good offensive mind and had a good script. And I think we just weren't quite ready for the arm, talent of Truwell, who's a very good player. After that, we kind of dialed in, and I mean, he hit us with the one in the first half. We had all day. Wyatt had it eaten up and just missed time to jump. But I thought we played really good and kind of played off a little bit there in that last touchdown, and just trying to get them to take time to get down the field, and which they did, and we were able to get the ball back and just kind of run it out.
Coach, I know as a defensive guy, you have to be proud of the way your DBs played tonight. A couple of picks against a team you know is going to sling it around. One of the better arms in the state at the quarterback spot. And again, he's going to get his a little bit, but by and large, you guys covered well, and those guys up front were just blowing up the pocket for you.
Yeah, they got back there a good bit, third especially, and Cameron, and did a good job there. But I thought we did a good job. 21's a beast too. Maxwell is a really, really good football player. He and Truwell they're special, and they got a great connection. And when you make a decision to just keep throwing it, like I'm going to throw it no matter what, that's what we're doing. It is really dangerous because it's hard to stop because you're going to get yours. It's going to happen. Now you're probably going to throw picks and get sacks and all that stuff too. So it just makes it really dangerous. So I thought we did a good job, from my point of view.
Coach, offensively, you guys put up 44 tonight. Christian and I were talking about it, the emergence of Stanley Smart running the football. It seemed like in the first half, y'all had a drive where you almost gave it to him exclusively, and it was put your foot around, one cut, and go. And really, that development of him as a running back with the power, speed, and when he was decisive, one cut, go, it was 10, 11 yards at a chunk there.
And that's what we knew he could do all year. We've talked about it on this show quite often. He's a 190-pound kid that runs a 10.6, has abs like me. Or abs like other people. But anyway, no, he's a dude, and he's just getting into that. And I think it's a good time. He's starting to really run like he's supposed to.
Another guy, I know you talked to Christian earlier today on the coaches show about Josh Washington. Just kind of one of those ebb and flows where a couple of weeks he hasn't really been as big a part of the offensive game plan. Tonight it was death by 1,000 paper cuts for him. It was, hey, 7 yards, I'm open, throw it to me, and we're going to 9 to 10 yard chunky to death, and he was open all night long.
He was, and Amari did a good job of getting it to him. And what's so funny is, that isn't quote game plan necessarily. We're going to get Josh, but we just find what is open, and then that's what you start doing. So, we've got enough talent to spread that wealth, and they're good. I've been very proud of them not getting upset. Bubba Frazier could get upset because, he hadn't scored as many touchdowns, but he just wants to win. He wants his team to do good, and he's proud when his buddies do well also.
Coach, special teams are always a big part of the game, and Connor tonight, a 52-yarder coming out of the locker room.
Right, yeah, he nailed that one and did a good job. And actually, it was going to be closer. I think it was 49, and then we did a running, had a running play. I didn't realize we lost 3 yards. So I'm like, oh, he's still inside 50. And then I realized, oh my God, he may have, but anyway, he nailed it. And I know he's got that leg. He does it all the time, so I'm very proud for him.
Coach, finally, just from a confidence standpoint in the offense, you guys get the ball back with 8 minutes left in the ball game, and you don't give the ball back. I know the game was out of hand, but just from that standpoint, how do you build upon that, knowing, hey, we got to be able to do that? Maybe not 8 minutes, but we got to be able to do 4 or 5 minute drives to put a game away. You guys held it for the last 8 minutes of this ball game.
Yeah, no, that was big, and that's what we were trying to do, and that's big when you can do that. You can just kind of pound it out and get the get the yardage, and we were able to. There was no need in scoring there at the end. We got down on the one, and actually at the injury, Coach Hockman said, "Hey, if you need it, I won't call a timeout." And I said, "Well, we'll nail it then." So, very proud of that. There's a lot to say that. And we had a couple of younger guys in there, a couple of younger backs in there anyway, running the ball. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, got to spread it around. Coach, did want to ask you about the one incident in the game. Cam kind of got upset. You had to go out there and get him. That was kind of out of character for him. What can you tell us about about that whole situation? That you can share anyway.
Well, I don't know. He got upset. I think somebody had said something to him, and I think took his towel or something like that, and he was screaming, wanting the towel back. Now, if you ever listen to the team, you know when Cam's yelling. His voice is just so loud. And Mr. Earl Mason was the official on the other side, and he threw it. And I know Earl very well. I've known him for a very long time, and he ain't going to throw it anything like that unless it's necessary. So we talked to Cam, and he got calmed down, and he was apologetic. If you know Cam, he's very sweet. It's just he was heated. Talked to Earl afterwards, and he said he's okay. It just I can't allow it. But anyway, it's we don't talk to officials other than yes sir or no sir.
Coach, finally, the overarching theme tonight was a win, and you're in the playoffs. That goal has been accomplished. I know that's one where you guys usually have the set goals, win the region, get the playoffs, all that. Right. Where you can check off the get in the playoffs box. It looks like you'll be a 3 seed. You get to sit back with an off week, kind of see how it plays out. But getting into the playoffs now that it's finalized, how do you feel about the way you guys are playing?
I feel really good. That's what I told him after Perry on Monday. We came back together. We all felt horrible after the loss on Friday, but we came back together, and I said, honestly, I woke up Saturday morning and I was excited because we can play with anybody, whether Amari's, Steven's a quarterback or Amari's a quarterback. We can go beat anybody. And so that's exciting. And I said, hey, here's the deal. We win this game. We're a 3 seed. Yeah, it's on the road at this point. Sometimes being on the road, you actually come together a little bit more. So let's go play on the road. Let's make a run at this thing.
It hadn't bothered you guys to travel before, so
no, we'll do it, man. We'll pack up and go.
Well, Coach, we appreciate the time. Might still have a chance to do a little trick or treating here. Let you go, so we appreciate it as always. Thanks so much.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Coach Danny Britt joining us here on the Attorney Jonathan Dunn post-game show after the Cadets win at 44-22. And Christian, you talked about it right there. Hey, we can play with anybody in the state. You're in the playoffs now. There's another week there's tomorrow night and another week of high school football to play out before it's all said and done. But I think our best guess, unless Tucker pulls off an upset over undefeated Marist, you're going to be playing Tucker as the 2 seed out of that region.
Yeah, and hitting the road, heading to play a really, really good football team who's consistently in the playoffs, just like you are in a physical football team, and they don't lose a whole lot. So you've put yourself in the race now. Now it's who can just continue to knock off people and make that deep run of the playoffs. If anybody has the experience and the coaching to do it, it's the BC Cadets. So I'm excited to watch what happens, but if anything, you put yourself in the mixer. That's what tonight was all about.
So the Cadets win it 44-22. They're off and into the playoffs coming up in 2 weeks, but there's more. You will still get to hear from Coach Britt and Christian Gokel a couple times from Bowtie Barbecue. So go grab some great lunch, have some great conversation while Christian and Coach break down everything that's happening around BC Cadet football every Thursday, high noon at Bowtie Barbecue. You can be involved for the Danny Britt Show each and every week. And as always, lock us in, watch BC Sports, like and subscribe to us there on YouTube as well, and you'll get notified every time we're bringing you the action for Benedictine, whether it be the game, the Danny Britt Show as well. That'll do it for us. Benedictine finishes the regular season with a W and on to the playoffs in 2 weeks. He's Christian Gokel. I'm Kevin Thomas. Have a great evening, everybody, and thanks for watching here on Watch BC Sports.